Greetings and salutations, League of Legends fans and LOL esports fans. Here I am again, Sodaron, the wizard of LOL esports, ex-analyst coach of GAM esports in 2022 during the summer split and Worlds. Here to bring you another game for the next level with Sodaron. And I say that because I've broken these apart from how I normally do it, where I would do a whole series at one time. Now I'm trying a different route. It's taken me more time. A lot of it is just I'm upgrading the way I do this show and I'm producing more slides. It's taken me more time, so I apologize this week that I have not got content out. I know most of you, that's what you care about, what you want. Content, content, content. You're like vampires wanting blood. You just can't wait to get more things to watch. And Riot Games, League of Legends, they give us plenty of games to watch. So, in between working on these slides, I've watched the DK series against Fox and saw NASA's mid. I watched Faker play earlier this morning on T1 and they beat KT. I just finished watching WBG, which is my favorite LPL team. I don't pick favorites, but if I had to pick a favorite, because I'm a big fan of Tarzan, I'm a really big fan of Light. He's a very underrated AD carry. Crisp, very underrated. Zahu, almost 1,000 games played in the LPL and won MSI titles, and nobody had any faith in him. I think he's a great... we saw Tarzan with... I think Tarzan works well with Zahu. He seems to work better with like LPL teams and LPL players for his style than the LCK, because he's a very good jungler. He has very good mechanics, but he's tends to be more like a macro player as well, and kind of farm heavy and strategic type player. And so, and LPL has probably more fighting and more aggressive plays, so maybe it works out better for him than what the LCK teams do. A lot of people think he's washed up, but if I had to pick a favorite, he's my favorite jungler. Again, I don't pick favorites. Why would I do that? So here we are. Again, I have a lot of slides for you this time. It's not particularly an exciting game, and a lot of you probably thought this was a boring series, but that's not exactly what we're going for here on the next level with Sodaron, because I'm trying to get you, the player, to the next level. Are you ready? For I'm ready to guide you and help get you there. So I guess that's the end of my shtick. If you watched, I did a little stream update earlier. Also, I've been battling some physical ailments. I have a circulation problem in my legs, and you can get wounds, or they call them ulcers and sores. And I had one, and really, it's really where I've been doing all these VODs through the month of... let me see here. July. Ever since World Cup, I've not stopped. And I've got 82 videos here to check out. There's plenty of content at my channel. Wow, this VOD here keeps getting a good bit. This is a really good VOD where you may laugh at it or discredit me or say it's dumb, Sodaron, but if you really watch it in the full entirety, it'll explain and make sense to you, because I show you the practice tool, which I know a lot of you are like, Sodaron, that's like homework. I don't want to do homework. Or it's like you want to lose weight or gain muscle, but you want it now, right? You want to find a secret video out there that, like, maybe I should title it even better, like how to carry hard with Jungle Nidalee, or how to win every game with Jungle Nidalee. But I titled it How to Master Jungle Nidalee, my Sodaron League of Legends solo queue clinic series, which maybe I should make a better name for it. Or maybe that's what this show should have been. The next level was Sodaron, but I wanted to have a cool name for a show, and I wanted a show. Originally, this show, how many times can I say show? Originally, this show that I'm trying to produce was supposed to be like I at the end of the week. It's not a ripoff of Bangers Only. I think that name's kind of dumb. It was where I would pick my favorite matches and show highlights and things like that. And maybe someday I can produce that type of show. So a lot of this is me learning how to produce this stuff, me learning how to get camera work, how to talk on a microphone. Since I was young, I've wanted to be on the radio, and even had like a karaoke machine. And I was really young, like 5 or 6, and I would tape songs on the radio. And then, you had a double deck on the karaoke machine, so you could record songs, and then or maybe I just recorded them off the radio. Like, I recorded songs off the radio and then played it because it had a double deck. And then I would record my own songs where I would sit there and be the announcer and be like, "Hello, everybody. This is Sodaron at the 4:69 a.m. channel. It's currently 11:45 and it's 66 degrees outside. Hope you have a nice drive. Let's kick it away with Taxman by the Beatles." I wanted to do that type of stuff, which maybe I do have some type of radio voice if I wanted to. I could broadcast, or, I would kind of like to be a League of Legends caster, but geez, they tell me when I ask around that I need to have like 5 years of experience doing Challenger, and by that time, this game will be dead. I mean, I've been watching it for 13 years. So, But anyways, let's go ahead. Oh, so I've got stuff for you to check out here. I mean, I've got 82 videos, which is quite a lot for only 22 subscribers. And you go and look, and that one's 2 hours long, and that's 8 hours long. So don't sit and judge me if you're a new viewer and be like, well, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, because how could somebody sit here and talk for 8 hours about a series? Or how can somebody sit here and talk about a series for 3 hours? Or how can somebody sit here and talk about a series for 3 hours and 50 minutes or 3 hours and 17 minutes? I mean, you do that 80 times. Let me just get the little calculator here and say that I do, geez, what's 60 times 3? So 180 minutes, and I multiply that by 80, so I have 14,000 minutes and 14,400 minutes just roughly on camera talking about League of Legends in my VODs. I would think that maybe that's pretty decent experience, right? How can somebody sit and talk about something that long? And some of them, like this one, has some AFKs, but I was live streaming that, so I gotta take a break. But I had plenty of content. Back here's where I was learning. It says a year ago. It felt like it was 2 years ago when I first started this stuff. Yeah, there we go. 2 years ago. Jeez. Young Sodaron learning how to do this. Look at all this work I did. Look at this Johnny Depp type of look I had. Look at that awesome mustache and goatee. Who is that guy? Look at all these war medals back here from my family. But I don't have anything, or I don't know anything. And I had my own band draft system, and that's what I'm trying to do here. And take crazy notes, and I would I've talked about this before, and you can go back in these VODs, but I made you these little cards like this that you could print out on an index card, and it has like, hey, what's the cooldown timer of Flash? Well, most of you watching don't even know it's 5 minutes. Because, see, it's in 300 seconds when you look it up on the websites, or when you look at it in game, and then you A lot of you don't know the math in your head. Well, how many minutes is 300 seconds? Well, it's 5 minutes. And I mean, you can get this card right here and print it out, and you can have it on your desk like I do. And then when somebody on your team burns flash, or when an enemy burns flash, well, geez, you can just look at this card and know and type in chat. Well, whatever time it is, say it's 10 or 5 minutes in the game, you can type 10 minutes mid laner flash, and then you guys know that in that 5 minutes time when he's overextended in lane, bam, you can gank the mid laner and get an easy takedown, or killed, some of you say. I don't like to say that because it's negative, so I say takedown. And I was doing this 2 years ago, but I don't know what I'm talking about. Some of you said this was useless information and data, but that's how you make plays. And then you go back and, I think it was in this one here in the beginning where I showed you that this coach, well, I showed you that I started playing this game, StarCraft, which many of you think's way too hard to play and too complicated. I showed you how No Faye, one of the most famous coaches in League of Legends, right here starts talking about what I'm going to talk about in this video. That you make your plays around vision control. You gotta know the summoner spell timer is showing you what I'm trying to show. And that's what I'm going to show you in this VOD. Where's the quote? He says a direct quote. You make plays around vision. He's not safe at all. Now in this situation, he's got Vi, and he's got Renata Glass. It's in there somewhere. Oh well, I'm not gonna. You can go back and watch it. So, maybe in this series I'm digging a little bit. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to test some new things out. It's always a learning experience. So, I don't even know how to really do this today, but welcome to the next level with Sodaron. I am Sodaron. I have got coaching experience with GAM, a VCS team that's dominated the VCS every season. And that's just the way it is. But I do have experience working with them. I did vision control stuff, kind of like I show you in these slides here. Let me look here. Since I'm a liar and everything, I'm sure. Let me just look through my stash of stuff. We're brought to you by a local business guy that's in my band. Let me click that out here real quick. I'm just digging through my stash of stuff. So if you're in my area, check that place out. I'm vegetarian. I can't eat the tacos there, but one of my best friends, that's his business, started in a taco truck and now is in a restaurant. So someday it'll probably be a fast food chain. I even told him, like, it's all about having a good logo and branding yourself, because I learned that with this League of Legends thing. I'm trying to find this mini map that I had from working with GAM, and I know I saved it somewhere in here. But they wanted me to work off this mini map. And I know it's in my drive somewhere. I just got to find it. May not be able to find it. I don't think I deleted it. I just have a lot of stuff in here. And yeah, I guess I can't find it. Maybe I saved it somewhere else. It's a map that they used over in the VCS. Maybe it's under my templates. No, well, I'll have to dig through it and find it. Would like to share it. It just has, it's like the map I'm going to show today, but oh well. This map here is better, but it just had a weird the way it was like, yeah, that's the right window. You could kind of see around the turrets better. But anyways, welcome to the next level with Sodaron. I am the aforementioned Sodaron, the Wizard of LOL Esports, here to bring you the 2024 LEC Season Finals, lower round 1, G2 versus GX. And yes, we're a week behind, but I told you about my physical problems. I found out that I got infection in my leg. It has the starting of Mercer, which is not good at all, but I am on heavy antibiotics now. So like I did a little stream update yesterday talking about it. So go to my twitch.tv/Sodaron right here. Follow me, please, at x.com/Sodaron official. Easy for you to find. Finally got that changed over. If you watched the last VOD, it was something a little bit different, but I couldn't get X to change it over, and it finally did. Can't take Sodaron for some reason. It says the username doesn't exist, but it won't allow me to have the name. So then I need you to follow me at twitch.tv/Sodaron. I just need a few more followers and I can apply for the Twitch affiliate program, which will definitely help this channel, my two channels that I run, my YouTube and my Twitch. I have a PayPal on there. I'm not really asking you for donations or anything, but if you would like to see this channel grow, can help me. Like I could probably pay for YouTube Premium and have no ads, or I'd like to be able to have an official Twitter or X that's subscribed to that has a check mark. It would help grow. I would do good things with money. I would put it back into the channel. I need a second monitor for my computer. I need a new rig. I'm running one from 2019, 2020. I run a 1650 GTX, which is not it's pretty cheap card nowadays. I've been looking at PCs with a 4090 or a 4080. Thinking about maybe the end of the year upgrading, and later when I get into this, you'll see it takes me a long time to do these VODs because I'm running on one monitor, and if I had two or I had an extra one, it would help me where first off, you would never have to see this screen here, and I don't like showing this screen. I mean, it helps me see the volume here of how loud I'm talking, but it would allow me to drag it over to the second monitor, or you wouldn't have to see this, because sometimes Windows likes to, I've talked for like 3 hours and then realized this was turned clear down. So you wouldn't see these things. I would have them dragged over to a second monitor. But when I'm making these slides, I have to, especially when I do this and I'm copying what this layout is on the Rift kit, is very time consuming, because for me, like I have to go to Paint even and look at the mini map and be like, okay, well, where are these wards? And then I can't, since I don't have a second monitor or third monitor, a lot of you out there are spoiled and probably haven't even ran a computer on one monitor, but it won't allow you to, like, I have to tab back over and forth and constantly be minimizing and maximizing screens. So then, like, I have to put it on Paint and blow it up. And then on the Rift kit, it still minimizes it. And so it's pretty difficult, where if I had it on a second monitor, I could just plain out see it. But I don't have that ability. I'm not spoiled like some of the viewers out there, I'm sure. Not saying you're spoiled. So, anyways, there is a PayPal out there too. It's like paypal.me/Sodaron. It's all Sodaron now, except Sodaron official. There's a Facebook page I just made, Sodaron. So I just need a few more followers. I think I must have turned a couple off because I lost a couple over the last day or two. So who knows? I must do a really bad job. So took me a while to prepare this. Again, this is a breakdown. It's not a review. Trying to teach you vision control, and I probably didn't. I'm just trying to think of where to start it. So, anyways, I guess I'll just do a. I don't know to like go into the game or do a rundown like I did in the last one, but I'll try to do the rundown here. So, and again, I'm like pretty tired at the moment. I should have went to bed, but I'm trying to just get this done so I can move on. I don't know if I'll do game number 2 or game number 3. I mean, I'm wanting to do game number 3 and get it finished. For some reason, I thought G2 played today, but there's a G2. There's all these games I could do, but then I also will have a break, right? So I mainly do LCK, but I'm trying, like, most of my views are if I do G2 games and LEC stuff. So it's good for me to do the LEC, but like I wouldn't mind doing the T1. Gen G, there'll be the Gen G finals. So, but I also probably need some time off where I'm on antibiotics for 10 days and I got to heal up. But I was just saying, what I was trying to say was I put out so many videos. I think that might be some of why my health went down. I lost weight because I wasn't eating correctly. I was doing 8-hour long VODs all the time, which is, when you're young, that doesn't seem like much, but when you're my age, like 38 years old, well, it starts to take a toll on your body. But anyways, enough about the life of Sodaron. Let's get into the life of G2 and GX. So, looking at the draft, we get Broken Blades Yone into Ornn, which I looked at the stats and I had a master tier EU player kind of reprimand me, I guess, for. But I also think that he may be one like the majority of people out there that you watch my stuff for 2 minutes and you think you know everything about how I operate and run, where you start digging through my hours and hours of content, you'll see that I know what I'm talking about, or at least somewhat know what I'm talking about, and I don't claim to know everything. Again, my thing, and when I worked with GAM, was I'm good with jungle and support stuff and vision wards, and I go and talk about it over and over in all my content. But I started with the game Warcraft 3, or I started with the game Warcraft 2, which a lot of you probably don't know what Warcraft 2 is. And then after that, and I was in it for, let's see, 99, 2000, 2001. I think it was 2002 that Warcraft 2 came out, or the beta, or maybe it was the end of 2001. Because I remember being a junior and I graduated in 2004, so like 2003. Anyways, had Warcraft 3 since the beta, played EverQuest for 20 years or more, also raiding with like groups of 75 people, learning to work with each other. So working with 4 people is pretty easy compared to 75. But there's this guy named Grubby, and I've seen him come in and play League of Legends, and he lasted about a month and got tired of it because the way people are, or they don't take it serious. But if you notice, it's a Fog of War game, and it looks like League of Legends. Like and sorry about these ads. I'm not rich and I can't afford premium. You notice how Fog of War map, he's got one unit he's going to send out here, and you see how you can't see anything except for where the units are. This is called scouting, and this is what I learned in Warcraft 2, the game before this one. This game became a little bit more complex because it added an RPG element to it where you can level. It introduced heroes, which they had in Warcraft 2 during the campaign, but you didn't get to play it like in the normal ladder and strategy. And my friend and I really didn't like the heroes from the beginning, but eventually, that's what turned into like League of Legends, that you're playing a champion. So imagine that I played a game like this where you see right now he's got one champion out, but later in the game he's controlling two champions, and you can control a max of three. And you see all the units he's controlling, right? Well, think about how easy League of Legends would be then if you're just controlling one. If you came from a game like this where you're controlling 50 units, you know, League of Legends is pretty easy to me. It does take time to learn what the champions do and how they play and the last hit in lane. But compared to like this game, I came from that world. And so League of Legends is basically a Dota clone. And I never liked Dota back in the day. I thought it was too easy. It wasn't fun. It caught on when you got like League of Legends and you got matchmaking system. Because back then you had to go into a custom map and wait till you got 10 players, which may take a while. Where this, you got a draft and you go like, you got a matchmaking system. And so eventually it became fun and it killed off Warcraft 3. And then what also killed off Warcraft 3 was World of Warcraft, which actually ripped off EverQuest that I was also playing at the time. So World of Warcraft I'm not a big fan of because it killed two of my favorite games. But anyways, going into this game number 2, again, it was kind of like a boring game to most people, so I tried to work on vision control in this one. So you've got Yon being uh, drafted for Broken Blade, which the stats say. Oh, I had the EU guy tell me that my lane matchup stats were wrong or not to go by that, but I go by the Korean ladder. Now, on this matchup page, I also made a second page that goes by the global. But after talking to him, you see, I didn't flame him. At first, I was kind of like, "Oh, what does he mean?" And took it the wrong way. But I didn't make an instant comment back like a lot of people do. And then you start arguing and you get mad. I waited a while and I thanked him for his time and watching it and appreciate his feedback. And then we kind of had a second decent comment and maybe sees where I come from. And like I said, you watch 2 minutes of it, you can't assume that you know everything about what I'm trying to do because this show's like always growing. I'm trying to get better at this. I get tired, I get bored doing the same stale thing. So Yon supposedly is bad into Ornn. Ornn is supposed to counter Yon or be a bad matchup for him. Corky is supposed to be good into Ezreal. I'm trying to remember this and not cheat to look at what the stats page say. Um, Maokai and Brand, I can't find many stats, but it looks like it keeps saying that it's a 50% win rate, so it's more of a skill matchup. But I would think that Brand would counter Maokai like in a straight up fight. Like you could probably kite Maokai around as Brand, but who knows? I guess I need to get in and play the game to find out. You got Ashe in a Misfortune. I think that Ashe counters Misfortune, so it's a good lane matchup for Hans Sama into Misfortune. So it's kind of like G2 outdrafted Giant X. Poppy is a counter to Rel. You've got Wuhan that is a Korean jungler that's from the LCK that was on a Worlds team. That's probably a really, maybe the best mechanical, maybe the best jungler in LEC. I'll even make a bold statement. So you've got a good series where Yike looks like maybe he was getting a little frustrated, maybe getting out jungled a little bit. So it was like a learning experience for him where we've got Yike kind of leveling up against a LCK jungler, which is good for him. He will need this for Worlds. So he's going to play against the top junglers in the world, like probably Lucid and Owner and Peanut and Canyon and Tien and Tarzan. And who else will be there? Who will be the, I guess, Zika. Or not Zika, Wei Wei. Oh, you got Wei. You got Wei and Wei Wei. So this tells me they're worried about Wuhan because they've got 4 jungle bans in this game. I would like to see Yike play Nidalee. So they had to ban the Nidalee and the Vi against Wuhan. They had to ban the Lilia and the Zyra. So they have to take Maokai, which is fine because it looks like Maokai's. I just watched Tarzan play like 2 or 3 games of Maokai into top esports. Giants is worried about the Ivern. I don't know what's so scary about the Ivern, but I will say that I watched Lucid play yesterday, and I've said that the weakness of Ivern is you can't even take the objectives till you're level 6 with Daisy. I saw him take the Void Grub solo at level 5 to get level 6. Now his lanes were super aggressive and winning super hard, so the enemy team couldn't even begin to stop him from trying to take the Void Grubs. But Ivern went in at level 5 and took the Void Grubs. I was going to say maybe I should try to find this real quick. Just to back this up. And the reason why is I've been pretty vocal about this. So why can't I find the DK series? DK versus Fox. I think it was match 1. Oh, okay. Again, sorry for the ads. I got an ad blocker. I don't know how to get it to block the ads.
That is a kill, easily fed over to aiming already.
Is this the game?
Dragon is very exciting.
Okay, so yes. I am wrong about now. He just had a field day running around on Fox.
And win that fight for D+. I think tunneling a little bit on the old angle.
So really trying to find level 5 Lucid. Really he just straight up went to the Void Grubs.
I hate to say it, Valis, but it's
okay,
almost
he's
like
level 5.
At 6 minutes. I mean, and
so you can do this.
We're gonna come up with that pressure on. I say it. Yeah. Be Grubs and. I mean, there is
look,
not one
he's solo doing
this.
Completely
on fire for BMK right now.
Absolutely.
I didn't think you could do this without Daisy.
You know, he tries to take a desperate dragon because, well, there's nothing else. Right.
This is the comms. They have vision. No flash. I'm going. Play it slow.
I like seeing Nasus mid. I'm glad to see Nasus in competitive play.
Pretty simple there. Down here. Just a really nice gank here from Lucid. Set the crash down into the root.
So he just had a field day.
Caught with their pants down a little bit here is so.
And there you go. He got level. He didn't get level 6. There, he got level 6. He did the Void Grubs at level 5 by himself. And he's running Glacial Augment with where you get some type of spells, or I don't even know what mastery that is. It's like the one that replaced
so far behind, and
I can't even remember the
when
name
Akron
of
gets
it
this
now.
much tempo and he's
Thought
slowed
it was
out by his
First Strike,
team,
but
and
it was the
he's
one
not
like
really
seasons
playing against
ago
anyone
that you
because,
take on
well, their
Ezreal
weapons
and it
really
would give you
exist.
gold, and then you could get
He just
potions
gets
and
to have a really
wards
fun
out of it,
time.
and it was really
And
OP.
you know, the other part of this draft as well is, okay, we're gonna have a little bit of a 1v1
Can't remember the
here. The
name of
Horde,
it off the top of my head, but it was a really cool mastery. Naguri took it all the time and would just farm gold. He didn't even really care about items. He was just farming more and more extra gold. So that's probably enough about the draft. They Giants X took away Braum, which I've been seeing. If you don't get Rel or Leona, you take Braum lately, and sometimes you take Alistair. You might take like a Seraphine into what used to be the Ornn Senna, but I think that's in the past. So they take away Azir and Aatrox and Kennen from Broken Blade, and worried about Yikes Ivern and Braum from Mickey X and Aatrox from Broken Blade, I guess. So lane matchups. So this page I took from the LCK ladder, which I value as the highest League of Legends that's not professional play, and like the top 50 players are probably pros or streamers or make money from League of Legends. So this says that the Yone is a even 50% matchup of the time, which is 7.14 higher against Ornn than the average opponent. Doesn't even make sense. So Yone wins against Ornn 50% of the time, which is 7% higher against Ornn than the average opponent. Does that mean Ornn has a really high win rate or something? So this says that Maokai wins against Brand 100% of the time, and I think it was like 1 or 2 games. It was just a handful of games, and the guy that was yelling at me, yes, I know the stats are skewed, and like my defense is patch 14.15 was a very small patch. We weren't on it very long. We're on 14.6 now. The LCK is already on it. The LPL is still on 1.5. LEC is probably still on 1.5. So then we got the Corki into Ezreal mid lane matchup, where it says that Corki wins against Ezreal 52% of the time. So you have on the next page, it says that Yone is bad in Ornn. So I would think that Yone would beat Ornn, or it's a skill matchup because it's a mechanical champion compared to more of like a macro type of champion. So then even this says that Yike has a winning matchup, but the next page I think says something different. So this says that Caps has a winning matchup here, or a good matchup, 52%. So what this means is like the jungler shouldn't have to help mid lane at all. Jungler will have to help the top lane get going. The bottom lane looks like it's very strong because Ashe wins it against Misfortune 69% of the time, and Rel 64% of the time, or Poppy into Rel 64% of the time. So it should be a really easy bottom lane matchup. Really, the only worry is getting top going. Other than that, it's like Giant X got outdrafted. So then we go and look at page number 2, where I took the data from patch 1.6 global. I think I messed up and should have went 0.15, or maybe I did 0.15 and took the wrong picture. But this says that Yone wins against Ornn 44% of the time. Maokai wins against Brand 50% of the time. Corki wins against Ezreal 80% of the time. Poppy wins against Rel 58% of the time, and Ashe and the Misfortune 53% of the time. Let me take a look. Yone. Is it Yone or Yone? Okay, so even that's what I thought. So really, I thought Yone should be a winning matchup. So it's like Giant X just got outdrafted because Broken Blade just styles on Ornn in this game. So that's from 14.15. I don't even think I need that. Oh, but that's also not the right one I want either. 61% of the time. So the other ones are 14.16, except for the Yone. From global. So getting the EU in there as well. So all the other ones. Make this a little smaller. Oh, that's a little bit too small. Why is that upside down? Why is that backwards? You know what? I'll just do it this way. This again is why I guess I need a second monitor. And it says Yone is S tier right now in the mid lane. All right. So, rundown of game number 2, Broken Blade and losing matchup, but that is wrong. Broken Blade. So I could have made a better rundown, but Ornn is forced to lane swap after getting a 1k gold behind. GX take the first dragon. Again, there's nothing really that exciting in this game. It's just like GX just slowly get out macroed or out laned basically, and then get like 2k gold behind in each lane, and then G2 like just close it out in 30 minutes. Now G2 did struggle to close it out a little bit. Like I'd like to see him close this game out faster, like at 20 minutes, 25 minutes. G2 take the first Void Grubs, which I think helps accelerate the, or I think it helps the AD champions more than it helps AP champions, because the Void Grubs help you push the turrets down, and so if you have attack damage, it helps take the turrets down much quicker, where a mage may not even really be able to get in close to take full advantage of the Void Grubs like you could with a ranged AD. So at 20 minutes, G2 have a 6k gold lead. Yone is ahead of Ornn by 2.5k gold at 20 minutes and has 2 items. Corki's ahead by 2,000 gold at 20 minutes. Ashe is ahead by 1.5k gold at 20 minutes. Great jungle opponent for Yike to gain level up experience. LCK World's roster jungler, and then just GX get out macroed from G2. There's like a See, I've been watching so many games, I can't completely recall what went on in this game. I just make the slides. I think there's like an early dragon fight, or there's something that maybe like G2 mess up on. And so I started playing more with vision in this game, trying to show the area of sight, which some of you may think these slides are stupid, but this will help you in solo queue. Like, not so much this slide here, but you want to try to get information on your enemy jungler. And so Wuhan right here, I guess, is worried about getting invaded and losing his red buff. So he's afraid that G2 is going to come in here. So he puts his ward here. And that's the only ward I think I saw early. So then at 52 seconds, Maokai wards the jungle entrance. Like the lower jungle entrance of the top side. Again, probably worried about Wuhan coming over and invading him and maybe trying to take the blue buff while he's doing it, or really just to prevent that. And like I talked about scouting 10 minutes ago when I was showing Warcraft 3, that's what I learned from the best Warcraft 2 player. And in Warcraft 3, you have to scout out your enemy. You want to be ahead of them, right? Like you don't want to play from behind. So you want to see your enemy before they see you, basically. Stay ahead of them. And I started playing with, I don't know exactly what I'm showing here. Oh, okay, that's what I thought. So I'm trying to learn this map and get better at Rift Kit. So that's kind of what this game and these slides are about. You see, I started to realize, I think, that trying to figure out, well, what is the area of vision on a champion? And I think it's just this circle you see on the mini maps, your whole area of vision. So the vision wards give, unless it's like the same amount as this radius as the vision wards. But I'm thinking it's more the amount of area you get is this circle right here. So I could be wrong. Like, this is what I'm trying to figure out. Like, I guess do you have vision on Ezreal at this point? With no, see, like I haven't lane or played in a lane for so long. I guess I need to go play some solo queue games and just stand around without, because you have minion. You guys may think I'm stupid saying this, but like, does Poppy have vision on rail right here? I think so, because I think the area of vision is this circle right here and not this circle. But that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out. But, and again, a lot of you may think this is stupid, but trying to learn how far this radius is for these wards and how far the radius is the area you get around your champion. Because most of the time you have lanes or you have minions in the lane, so it's giving you vision on your enemy. So what I'm saying is like, obviously you can't see Ornn here if you're Yone, but if you're Corki here, can you see Ezreal right here? I think so, because you're in the middle section right here. So it has to be, I'm guessing that's the area. It's that big. So it's bigger than the circle of the portrait. Which again may sound really stupid to some of you. That's okay. I'm trying to figure something out. So Maokai starts the blue side, Ancient Golem. Brand starts the red side, Raptors. This got me thinking here. This got me thinking. Let's see if I can get out of this for a second. Okay. Just want to mess with this for a minute. Let's do Corki into Ezreal. I don't have Corki. Oh, they won't even let you have Corki bot. Well, Do I have... I think I have Lucian on this account. So let's do Ezreal. And do I have Tristana? Yeah, I have Tristana too. Yeah, I got Lucian as well. Let's just look at this area of vision for a minute. Oh, mouse. I messed with it when I did my stream update and have something saved looking at this too. Now my keyboard is off to the left a little bit because my microphone's right here in the middle, but it really hurt me on this. I also haven't played Lucian in a while, but I played a lot of them. Top lane, mid lane, jungle.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. 30 seconds until minions spawn.
If I believed in something, I'd start praying to it right.
Would like to see the bot. Okay. Yeah, see, okay. But what is the exact area of vision where I can't see him? Is what I'm trying to figure out. So it's further, it's like, it must be the radius. It's like this far. It's like this bridges this gap right here. That's what I thought. It's not the portrait.
Sorry, I got it. I try to remember her the way she
Where did
was.
Ezreal go?
Maybe it's best I don't.
Can you reset the game?
Minions have spawned.
The mist awaits us all. Say goodbye to whatever you care about. I'm just full of salvation. Come get it, friend.
It's like they have to be right on my circle. And I'm what I mean is I'm looking at the mini map of Ezreal. It has to be by my circle when he's in vision. This is what I'm trying to figure out. Come on, punk.
How do you kill what's already dead? With a fistful of gunlight. Light 'em up.
Oh. I know better than that. I got bored.
Demon spawn.
First blood.
I really messed that up. I should have bursted him a lot quicker.
Bullseyes.
And I got baited by the cannon minion when I knew better than that too. You don't want to take it first. What I'm trying to figure out is
I got 2 guns.
when exactly on this mini map do I see Ezreal? Because I'm wondering if it's when he's hugging my portrait. I guess it's like the distance from there to there. So it is like the circle. It's not the portrait, it's the circle that you see on the Rift kit that I was talking about.
It's painful to seeing something good go bad.
Or is it like, yeah, see how it has to be where he's on my icon. I think I'm right that it's the portrait is the area of vision that a champion has. I think I'm right. You guys were going to doubt me at the beginning, but I think I'm right. I figured this out today. But I've never noticed it. Of what is the exact vision? I think it's the portrait. Because it's like, if you notice on the mini-map,
Call it magic.
he's got to hug my portrait. Or he's not in my vision.
Fights this way. If you're coming along, try not to die.
That's what I'm trying to figure out is it this circle here? Is that my area of vision? Or am I wrong? Is it bigger? I guess it's bigger. It's the circle that...
Everyone I shoot is her captor. Everyone I save is her.
Trying to figure out, is it this that's around me? I guess so. It's like a secret Riot Games doesn't want us to know. But when I went through there, it looks like it's
This ain't
bigger.
war. War's end.
I'm looking at the mini-map.
Minions have spawned.
I know it. One of us finds peace. One of us walks away. Don't need triggers. Just need
This is a little bit bigger. It must be the area that the vision ward shows on the Rift kit. How did he get his shield? Oh, barrier. I don't know, this is something that I've never really tested out or thought about.
ain't enough bullets in the world for all the killing I'm about to do.
Because there, it's because it's lit up by the turret. But it is a little bit bigger than my portrait on the mini-map. Because when you look at the game, it looks like you don't see the champion until they hug your portrait.
Need to believe that.
Minions have spawned.
See how his portrait's hugging mine? Like, I don't see him until then. It's a little bit before. Okay, it's just like a little bit before.
Sentinel.
Oh, I lost the tree. Oh, they nerfed Doran's blade. That's why I lost. Wink. So it's a little bit before. That's what they're trying to, like, handshake
Look at 'em all.
in the beginning of the game.
Knowing they're following me to hell.
Minions have
Kill some
spawned.
fools. Whatever's in the beyond, I hope it's better than this.
I don't know. I'm just messing around.
The mist awaits us all. Say
And I
goodbye
also
to whatever you care
have my keyboard in a really awkward spot, like over here on my desk, where it should be right here. because my microphone's right here. This is probably a better skill up to take.
You can cleanse anything if you have the right ammunition.
Minions have spawned.
Okay, he's out of my sight.
Nothing between you and me but gunlight. This is
Aced.
I'm not really trying to kill him in the trade. I'm trying to
I believed in something.
figure this vision thing out.
Do it right about now.
I think it's like you see that circle. So it's not the portrait, it's the circle that shows around the wards.
Used to think
I guess you could see, like, if I put here, like, it's that circle. Okay.
Minions have spawned.
Also, can I hit alt? I used to have, like, it set where I hit alt, and it would show the area of attack. I guess I don't. There, yeah, that must be it.
it's what crawls.
Like the circle when you hit A, which is like a little bit bigger than the portrait. That's what I was trying to figure out. How do I have boots already?
No sunshine where I'm going.
I must have clicked a button. Yeah, I kind of feel like, duh, Sodaron, it must be that circle right there is my area of vision,
And you'll
which
never
is
need to draw.
how much a ward gives.
I'll sleep when they're good and dead. Unclean.
I could beat him if I actually tried. I just don't care at the moment. I wanted to make sure that I was on the right scene. So anyways, into this rundown. Okay, so in conclusion, it's bigger than the portrait. Because sometimes it looks like when you're watching pro matches that they don't see each other till they hug. But it's this area here, which would be nice if I could get a circle that big or like that size. But I don't have that tool. So it's this big. It's when you hit the auto attack button, you hit A, it shows how big your area is. Which I should have known that. But that's what you make your plays on, and you're trying to stay out of, if you're in professional play and if you want to get to the next level, you got to learn that, because you're going to have to learn where wards are and to go around them. Like if you're a jungler, to make routes where people ward and you go around it and you don't get spotted out on a ward. That's what like the highest level they do. So I'm just trying to run down the slides. This is where I don't know, like in the last breakdown I did, to show the slides while I'm in the game, or just to do like a break or a rundown of it, and then because I make it so you can look at the slides while we're watching the game, and then you have a optical representation of my thoughts or how I see the game instead of me just vocally saying it, because I know younger people out there that you like things to be optic, where I kind of like audio, and I'm from the radio generation, and I just sometimes like to hear like I like podcasts, like Summoning Insight, for example. I enjoy the show, like if I'm out walking or doing daily tasks around my house, like cooking or cleaning. I put that on. I don't need to look at Monty and Thorin and see what they look like. I don't, or whatever guest. Just put it on and listen to it. Uh, Instead of watching TV or lay in bed and listen to it till I fall asleep, instead of staring at a TV screen that'll keep me up longer. So Maokai position near Corki and Brand near Ezreal allows the two mid laners to play aggressive. So what do I mean by that? I mean, if you're the mid laner, whoops, and not like I was doing in practice tool, because I was really just messing around. I've also been up for quite a while. Like I should have just went to bed, but I was like, no, I should knock this out because I don't want to. I want to get it out as soon as possible. Maybe I'll just scrap it and then do it again tomorrow. Who knows? But this is just a practice run. It may be real or it may not be. Who knows? It may get uploaded to the internet. It may not. So what I'm trying to say in this slide is Caps can play aggressive because he has his teammate right around the corner. Right? Like if Maokai was down here, then Caps has to play safe, unless he has wards. Now he also has this ward here that'll allow him. It lets him know that if the enemy jungler comes through here, he can play safe on this side. He has to like question, is the jungler ever over here? So you'll probably see him. He'll be on this side, won't be over here on this side. As for Jackie's here, same thing. His jungler's right up here, so he has to play on this side, which also makes it like a dead giveaway to Caps. He's like, oh, I know the jungler's right there. So that's all I'm saying. So like also Broken Blade, he can play aggressive right now because Maokai's in this vicinity. It's like a human ward, but like the bottom lane down here, they can't do that, even though they're in a winning matchup, so they can play aggressive too. As long as you have vision and your flash up and things like that. So then Broken Blade places a good deep ward at 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Yeah, I actually see, I've been kind of critical of where Broken Blade's been warding because he likes to ward like right here or up here, and this is a good deep ward. This is what I want to see out of him. He's doing it to let him know where he's going to find information on the jungler. Where you're not going to get that if it's right here in the middle of the river. Poppy, G2 bottom lane, ward the bottom lane, try brush, allowing Ashe and Poppy to shove, pressure the lane, crash waves into the enemy turrets. So I've explained this, but if you're new here, you're trying to crash the waves. There's an imaginary line that runs up through the middle of the river right here, and the waves naturally crash each other at this wave or at this line, and you want to shove it forward by killing the minions faster than what they naturally crash into each other. So then the wave pushes over the line because there's more minions than the enemy wave. So it's out damaging the enemy wave, and it's doing more damage to the next enemy wave and then to the next enemy wave. And then eventually that wave reaches the turret and starts chipping damage down, which you're trying to get the turret down. That's like one of the main goals. Turrets give you a lot of gold. And then eventually, same thing applies too when later on in the game, this turret's down, and these turrets are down. You got to get it over this line so these waves will crash into the enemy base. So that's what you're trying to do. G2 counter with a ward. So since they're under the turret, they have to put their ward right there. Maybe not the best of spot, but lets them know if they're going to get dove. And you've got Maokai, which Maokai and Rel, you're probably or Maokai and Poppy, you're probably going to get dove by them. Because Poppy's just you're going to get Maokai W'd and then Poppy slammed into the wall and stunned, and then you're dead. But Patrick at least has the cleanse in this game. So this is the first one. I started getting more in depth with these and realizing I can zoom in and that I can label the wards and everything. So this is where you make your place. So Brand gets spotted on a ward right here. This is what this is showing. This is showing your area of vision because see, you need to know the radius of what that ward is. Like he can't path through there. So, but he can't path through either side of this. He's going to get spotted. He could go around this way and not get spotted. But if you're the jungler, you're trying to path around so you don't get spotted. And then you just come out and gank an enemy in the lane and they don't know that. And they're surprised. And that's your goal. That's why this is the jungle, right? You want to play in the dark. You want to keep them guessing. You want them to be scared and not know when you're going to show up. So Yone Vision Ward at GX red side. Krug spots out Brand. Also bottom lane G2 Vision Ward allows Ashe and Poppy to overextend and shove the wave into the enemy turret. So I explained that earlier. Same thing. Same thing. GX bottom lane place ward here to prevent 3-man dive. I don't remember what that one was for. I think it's like saying like will get spotted out by the GX ward if he comes through there. So I'm just pointing out these wards. So here at 3 minutes and 42 seconds, Yike gets spotted out. Or actually, no, he wouldn't be spotted out, would he? Because he's in the brush. So I'm actually wrong about that. But when he comes out of that brush, he's going to be spotted. So right here, he's not spotted. So don't take it the wrong way. He's not spotted yet, but when he goes through that, when he comes out of the brush, he'll be spotted. My dog's snoring. So he's not spotted in the brush, but once he comes out of it to dive or gank, he's going to get spotted. I think I wrote that wrong, so I got to fix this slide. I need an editor. Again, this series is kind of almost like a perfect kind of game for G2, so we're kind of digging for content here. But so we're trying to take you to the next level and work on the vision area of radius of the wards, basic fundamentals that I'm sure a lot of you don't even know or realize, never put thought about. Now, I think I did the thing at the beginning of the game, and I should know the area of vision. I haven't played the game in a while, so I forget these things. I watched the pro match, and this is some of the reason why I'm doing it, right? Like, it kind of messes with our head if we play the game, but we're into the pro matches because we're used to seeing red team and blue team's vision lit up on the map. So, at least for me, I watch so much pro stuff that you kind of forget, like, well, what does it look like when you're on red team and you don't see all the blue team stuff lit up? Because you have to remember, like, if you don't see the enemy on the map, I mean, you don't see the enemy on the map. Like, if they're unless they're around a wave or a turret or a ward or a teammate, but you see it when you watch a pro match because both sides are lit up. So Brand places a ward in the G2 topside jungle area at 3 minutes and 44 seconds, and both jungle lures claim the Scuttle Crab, GX topside river and G2 bottom river. So both teams have the Scuttle Crab, which, like I say, to me, the way I see it is like this top side of the river belongs to GX right now since they claimed the Scuttle Crab. So you can't really path through the middle of it. If you're G2, you're going to get spotted out. The same thing applies down here in the bottom river. That if you're Wuhan and you go pathing through the middle of the river, you're going to get spotted out. So it basically controls the river. And it seems like teams don't value the dragons. They're valuing the void grubs. Especially when you start playing Smolder every game. You don't need the execute on the Dragon Soul. You have it on Smolder. And the void grubs allow you to push the turrets down faster. And then I just think I think it's better on ADs. I think that's why we see so many AD champions right now. Some of the reasoning, not all the reasoning. Maokai spotted on the GX ward at 3 minutes and 42 seconds, but he's not spotted there, and it's a typo. I'm going to fire my editor and hire a new one tomorrow. Because he's not spotted on that. Look how I've saved this. Maokai recall at 3 minutes and 50 seconds and buys the Faded Ashes and swaps the trinket out for Sweeper Lens. Boy, we're really digging for content, aren't we? But now I'm seeing the top Maokai junglers take the Iron Locket of Solari, so the Leandri's Torment is a thing of the past on Maokai. They're going tank Maokai in the LCK and LPL. Maokai spotted on the GX ward at 4 minutes and 17 seconds. Now, this is where he is spotted. And that allows GX to make their plays. They now know where Yike is. So, Ornn now can play safe and know that he's not going to get ganked. He knows where the jungler is. Ezreal can play safe now. He knows where he doesn't have to worry that, Jesus, Yike going to come out of here at any time and gank me and I'm going to have to burn my flash, etc. So this shows the area of vision because it is possible, I guess, like you could somehow path through here up against this wall that you don't get spotted. And I see like the top junglers play that way, where like they don't click through the jungle and like look at something else. Like they walk a thin line around everything, like up and hug the walls and know where the enemy team's gonna put the wards. So you're trying to learn where these wards are. You're trying to learn the area of vision it is so you can walk around it. Skirt the line. You know, like you could possibly, with this ward here, get into a blue buff if you could get over the wall and take it and get back out over the wall if you're like a Vi or an Italy or a Lee Sin, for example. So then Brand gets his Faded Ashes, which I am a jungler, and this is, if we do solo queue, it's probably going to be jungle and support, and maybe all of it. Who knows? But this is the power spike that's making the AP junglers farm pretty fast right now. Their whole thing that you get the Faded Ashes, and it has a dot on it that helps take down the jungle minions faster. And then it thus allows you to stay pretty much even with your laners and farm. You know, like in this picture here, Brand's 31 CS. Like Brand's ahead of his own. So Brand is spotted on the G2 Vision ward and GX red side bottom jungle. See, like this. This looks like... actually, he's not spotted there because he's in the brush. So there I made another typo, didn't I? When he exits the... I would say the ward saw him. But we can't exactly see. This makes me want to go look into the game now. I think he's spotted, but it's just where I snipped the picture. He's in the brush. So it's kind of misleading. So don't misinterpret it. Because I'm sure at some point he pathed around there where, you know, some of you really misinterpret things out there or take everything to heart or 100% serious like it's word for word. So where were we? 4 minutes and 26 seconds.
Yike is clearing through his Gromp, but spotted on Vision as well.
Now Yike's clearly on that ward. I'm gonna say that that ward spotted Wuhan before he went into the brush. So don't take that. That's just the picture. That's why I got into this thing last night when I went my stream update. I think I actually lost a Twitch follower because he's like, well, this guy's so stupid he doesn't understand that when something's in a brush you can't see it. I know that. You're misinterpreting a slide or something. Maybe I should do this slide where it's like this and fix it. He's spotted here. That's how dumb some people are. I think I actually lost a Twitch follower because he watched my stream update. It was like, wow, this guy's so stupid. Because you'll see the slide here later. He's so stupid that he thinks that a ward sees through brushes. No, I don't. You're misinterpreting what my slide and what I'm trying to say before I even finish my thought. I don't know why that's okay. This is so much better to go at my own pace and I don't have to hurry. And I was trying to do these too fast, and I'll slowly get better at them and get quicker. So, because I'm really messing with this vision stuff and this map toolkit and trying to figure out the exact area of vision, because it also matters too where you place these. You have to be telling you, it takes a lot of time to make these little maps and make sure they're in the proper placements. So Misfortune overextended in lane with no vision. good time to punish and gank, although she has cleanse and flash up. She's down here over the line that I talk about. I call this the line. If you go over the line, this is G2's side of the map. The line splits the map in half. This is the red side of the map. So if you're red and you go over on the blue side, and you don't have a partner, you don't have a teammate, you don't have flash, you don't have a ward over here, you're going to probably die. And I don't like to die. So bad pathing from Brand, question mark. He's spotted on the Scuttle Crab. This is the slide where I think I lost maybe a viewer because they misinterpreted that, like I was saying that this sees through the brush, and I never said that. And I was trying to say that Wuhan may have had lazy pathing here, that he got spotted by this Scuttle Crab, where if he went like this way, he could go around this area of vision here. But right here, he's spotted on this, even though it's about to run down, and they go for Dragon. And that's one way to really put map pressure down, is to force a Dragon right on top of this. But G2 don't seem to really care about early Dragons. I've yet to really see them take early Dragons. See, get the Void Grubs. He's spotted on Scuttle Crab. Possible to path around this vision and not be seen. So Rel caught in the G2 jungle lizard camp brush. Rel goes around here to put some wards in, and should have had Wuhan or a teammate over here. Like I just said about the line and the rule. Well, Ignar went on a solo mission and he gets caught. And then you also have Maokai right here, and Ashe is starting to come up here in path. So I don't remember if he dies or not, but and you have Corki teleporting to the mid. He'll probably show up over here. So this was something like, or Ignar staying ahead over here to keep them from taking the Dragon away from him. But he gets caught solo. I think he dies. Maybe not. But it's something you shouldn't do solo. You should have, like, really, GX should have went with the jungle support tandem to place the wards and then go for the Dragon. Because it's more of a gamble play when you're doing that. They could have got punished. But for some reason, G2 don't focus early Dragons. It's something about getting Broken Blade fed with the Void Grubs. And like this team comp here, Yone, I'm sure the Void Grubs really help Yone. I would think they help Yone more than they help Ornn, right? And they really help Corki help get the turrets down. But Ignar didn't die, and he got this control ward down here, which is a good deep control ward. Any deep vision in the enemy jungle, like I said at the beginning of this, scouting out the enemy, being steps ahead of them. So, like most games I see, G2 start the Void Grubs at 6 minutes. Yike was ready for it. He has Faded Ashes. Much more difficult to do them without your Faded Ashes or a first jungle item. But we saw Ivern have nothing and do it, so it's like Nidalee can solo the Dragon at level 4, the Void Grubs, well, you're level 5 by then. Lee Sin can solo the Dragon at level 4, Vi can solo the Dragon at level 4. Yone overextended in lane, no vision wards around, but that's okay because Maokai is around the corner. So it's like my rule I'm talking about. Broken Blade can be over this line, like I say, because he has a teammate right here to back him up if Broken Blade messes up. Which Yone seems to be a really good champion for Broken Blade because it fixes some of the mistakes he has. Because it allows you to push forward, but then yo-yo back to a safe spot. So Caps is overextended, but again, he's okay because Maokai is around the corner. There's the line again. Like I say, I see the game as there's an imaginary line that runs all the way down the river horizontally. And it splits the map in half. Now think of that as a perfect line. And this side of the map is blues. This side of the map is reds. So if you're blue and you step over this line like Yike is right here and he's going to die. Oh, I'm on the wrong slide, but it's okay. This was a play where Yike miscommunicated with Caps. Takes a trade, and I think Yike is a little late, or Yike's like, I'll get level 6 and have my ult and we can kill them. And they get punished. And I would say it's where Brand has more damage at this point. So Brand's level 5, Ezreal is level 6. Caps almost dies in the trade, and Yike like comes in a little bit too late and all ends Wuhan and Jackie's, but Caps has no HP to take the trade. He's healing up, and then eventually Yike like gets this. I think this caster minion right here dies, and Yike gets level 6 and then ults both of them, but Caps can't do anything, and then Yike dies. So there's a mistake that G2 made. There's some mistakes with Yike. Just when I listen to Yike talk, it's like, come on, Yike, slow down a little bit. You seem like you're in a hurry. I don't know if you drink like a Red Bull. When I watch the after game interviews, you just talk really fast. And that may cause problems with your team that you're communicating or going faster than they. I used to do this when I played League of Legends back in Season 3, Season 2. And then I would blame my teammates for being bad. I played jungle, and like I would come down here and gank bottom and see a perfect opportunity and go all in, and then my teammates wouldn't go in because I didn't even allow them time. Like I saw an open play and it was one to take, but my teammates weren't ready. And unfortunately, it's a game where there's 5 people and it's more about communication. And even if you see an open play, if your teammate's not communicating with you, don't take it. It's okay, you'll get another opportunity. And it's just like a young player thing. So when he's like doing interviews after the post-game lobby or whatever on the LEC, I may have to take a break and see how the LEC is doing. I thought for some reason, I thought G2 played today. I thought they had to play Fnatic, but I guess they don't. Maybe they play tomorrow. But he just talks really fast, like he's in a hurry. I think he needs to slow down. I see it here when I do these breakdowns that he's ahead of the rest of his team. So perhaps Yike was thinking he would hit level 6 and be able to ult Ezreal and Brand. Miscommunication on G2. So you see he's level 6 and he does ult. You see the ult going off, but Caps can't do anything at this point. I think he's afraid of getting, he's going to get Brand ulted or something. Like maybe Brand will hit level 6 and then Caps will just, Brand, if he hit a QW on Caps, he'd probably die. So Caps is just hanging out there, healing up, but then it's too late. So I don't remember what I'm showing on all. I just like Ghost Poro or Zombie Ward because you get a free ward, like Mickey X does here. He kills this control ward and then gets a free ward. He gets gold and a free ward. Brand spotted on, and it worked. Brand gets spotted on the Ghost Poro. So this allows G2 to allows Broken Blade to pressure his lane now. He knows he's not going to get ganked. I could have moved that up a little bit more. Don't take the locations exact, okay? Because they look a little off to me right here, but don't take them exact. Like I said, I'm working on one monitor. I have to like blow this up on paint and then look at it. Where if I had a second monitor, I could just look right over here and go, oh, those are the exact locations. But I have to like, what I mean is like I can't look at a window at the same time. It minimizes the window unless I'm doing something wrong that I don't get, like I'm a noob. But like this takes a lot of time to move these in. I'll just show you, like, see all these wards I have to make and label and take the time to swap these to the champions. But I don't have a second monitor, so I have to go like this, and then I have to go back to that and by memory go, oh, okay, that's where that was. And then go, oh, okay, well, that's where, okay, and by memory go, all right, well, this is where this ward goes. And then I have to go, okay, well, that ward's here. And then I have to go, oh, okay, that ward was there. And then I go back and I'm like, looking at the mini map, oh, okay, that ward's there. And then I'm like, oh, no, wait, that ward was actually a little bit over here. And then I'm like, oh, well, where was Ornn? And then I have to go back here and go, okay, Ornn is there. And then I have to be like, okay, there's Ornn. And then I go back and I'm like, oh, but wait a minute, Ornn wasn't exactly there. He was over here. So then I have to go and be like, okay, Ornn was right here. Then I have to go back here and be like, all right, well, where was the 15th ward that I need? All right, well, the 15th ward was here. And then I get to zoom in, and then I'm like, oh, but wait a minute, that doesn't look right. And then sometimes I have to like magnify it, or like I said, on paint, or you can barely see it until you see on the map, because I'm looking at the mini map, and then I'm like, oh, okay, well, yeah, but the ward was actually a little bit right there. And so you can see, like, I made 100 slides, how much time that would take. So hang in there, Sodaron fans. We'll get better at this. I may even skipped one or two right there. So you have to be like, oh, okay, this ward is right here. Or I have to be like, all right, well, Corky's right there, right behind the turret. Okay. And then it's like, now see, if I had a second monitor, I would be like, oh, it's right there and then there. But I don't. And I know I bring that up a lot, but I know a lot of you out there don't even like comprehend somebody that would run off a monitor. The reason I got my setup was I was trying to literally like mock professional League of Legends, how they have their setup. But then you see like in their training rooms where they practice, there's scrim rooms, they have multiple monitors, or at least maybe in their scrim room they don't, that they make them play on one monitor. But I've seen a lot of teams where they got like, at least in the LCS, they've got like 2 or 3 monitors on their desk. And I just have one 25-inch monitor. Thinking about upgrading to a 27-inch. The problem is my desk. I'd have to like upgrade my desk because I got this gaming chair and I got the desk that goes to it, and it's not very big. So then it's like, well, my monitor is right in the middle of my desk and I like it. If I had another monitor, how would I do that? Like, I'd have to like set it over here, but it would be behind the main monitor a little bit because I don't think I would like it like over here. So I have to replan my thing, and Um, I only do this stuff, so I wouldn't use the second monitor for anything else. It would just be for League of Legends stuff. And it's like, well, do I have enough people that watch this? Is it worth my time? So is it worth spending money or taking a loan? And so, like, I just hope, like, someday, maybe it'll get good enough. I'll get enough views or something and somehow be able to generate the $250 to get a second monitor. But, and I'm also learning right now, so. So Rel gets spotted on the G2 ward at 8 minutes and 19 seconds. So that Ghost Poro does a really good job here, and now Rel gets spotted out. Because again, when he leaves the lane, you don't see the enemy. And then you have to assume that whatever lane you're in, if you see only like 4 or 3, I guess it would be 3 champions on the map, or 4. Maybe the jungler's helping a lane, but you have to assume, well, Rel might be in this brush right here and gonna gank me if you're Caps. Or Broken Blade, you have to assume, like, well, I don't see Rel, so he will come out of here and gank me. That's might be why he's over by this wall. Because he has, he's playing to this ward, and like I talked about at the beginning, where Corki had a ward right here, so he plays to that side. So Corki places a ward at the GX red side Raptor pit at 8 minutes and 30 seconds. This will allow the lane safe pressure. That's supposed to say lane. I'm gonna fire my editor. And spot Maokai. So Maokai is, I didn't even look at it. I make this for you, really, to watch. Because I feel like I can talk enough about the game when I'm, like, I can kind of handle it on my own, like a caster, where I don't really need to, like, hear what the casters are saying when I do this. But it's a good reference. You like optics. I'm trying to help get you to the next level. I'm trying to brainwash you and teach you to always look at timings. It's 8 minutes and 30 seconds in the game. So what should you be at 8 minutes and 30 seconds in the game? You should have 80 CS. If you want to be more exact, you should have 85 CS. Or you want to be a know-it-all like LS, you should have 83.5 CS at this point at 8 minutes and 30 seconds. So Corki gets a good ward there that'll show him where Wuhan comes pathing through. It's a good spot. And it's like a battle going on in the beginning of these games where these junglers hang out here and they're trying to prevent getting the wards at the Raptor pits at the beginning of the game. Maokai spotted on, I guess I went over this, but Maokai gets spotted on this ward right here. So now, again, it's like the same principle. It allows Ezreal to play safe and pressure his lane. Allows Rel to pressure, allows all the GX laners to pressure their lanes and overextend until he's out of that spot, or you wait like 45 seconds or whatever, a minute and a half. Like how long it would take him to run, like if you're in top lane, about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Then you kind of have to back off what you're doing because you got to assume the time it took them to clear the camps or run up there. Misfortune's cleanse is down and gets ganked by Poppy. That was a really nice play there by Mickey X, just slamming her in the wall, and that's what you want to do because she can't cleanse out of that. And that goes back to what I say about, like, let me just ask you something, player. Do you want to get to the next level? Well, tell me what the timer on cleanse is. That's right, it's 210 seconds, which converts converts to 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Don't you wish you had a Sodaron next level card telling you all the cooldown timers? You go back to my VODs, very beginning of my channel from 2 years ago, and I put it in every single presentation to download it, and you can print it on an index card. I even give you gifts. Brand spotted on the G2 ward at 9 minutes and 9 seconds. So again, allows all the laners to pressure and extend in a short duration. Even if this ward is down for a short duration. They've got the Dragon, it looks like it says 1 minute and 23 seconds. The Void Grub's in 1 minute and 16 seconds. So it's 9 minutes. What should your CS be? That's right, kids, 90 CS. Or if you want to be LS, 92 3/4 CS. GX claimed the topside Scuttle Crab at 9 minutes and 28 seconds. Again, this allows them to get the Void Grubs, which G2 seem to prize. They don't really go for early dragons. This makes this whole topside river GXs. It makes it impossible to path up here to gank. You have to change your route and go around. It's like having a toll bridge. Poppy, Maokai, and Corki spotted on the GX ward. GX lane swamp, Misfortune at top. So Ornn has such a bad game that, and let's see, what was Misfortune's even behind? So they're like, all right, we got a lane swap. Even though I don't know how fun that would be to be Misfortune at 70 CS. I'm guessing, I don't know much about GX, but I'm guessing the Antonio may not be the strongest player on GX. I don't know. So maybe they're like, Patrick, you go have a try laning into you. Because he's at 70 CS. Ornn's at 65 CS. I mean, they're just slowly getting outplayed laning skill-wise. So they're players. How do you get better at laning? You keep grinding the same champions in solo queue or the practice tool. Now at their level, you do have to play solo queue, but in your downtime, you can work. Even if you're them, you can work on your laning. And I've heard Koreans say they do that. Like they go in the practice tool for a while before they even play games to warm up. So how much CS should you have at this point, kids? That's right, 92 CS. Or if you're LS, 92 3/8 CS. I don't know. I just thought like doing that slide again. Poppy spotted on the GX ward at 10 minutes and 17 seconds. So again, the area vision thing. We're trying to find out, well, how far is the radius of the area vision? Because now some has changed, I guess, in this season because the way that is where I need to play solo queue, because like the side brushes have changed. They used to be much closer in, and you could really gank mid if you wanted to all the time, and it's not as easy now. They kind of made it so you can't gank as much, and it isolates the solo lane matchups, which is probably a good thing. But like, is there a way for Mickey to path through here around this? I don't think so at that spot. Because it looks like that area vision covers all this wall. So you'd have to like go up around here somehow. can't really do some of the crazy pathing you used to be able to. Or you'd have to go back behind up through here. But it's also like, how accurate is this? This should be pretty accurate, but then it's the mini map itself, and you know, maybe if that ward's placed a little bit up here, maybe there's a little bit of vision room. But the way it looks like it hugs the wall. Where was I? Oh, so Maokai and Poppy are spotted on the GX ward at 10 minutes and 32 seconds. And you can see, like, this one back here says GX Vision Ward, and the circle just goes through Poppy and Maokai here. Which, I think the Void Grubs are up. So this is a fight over the Void Grubs. GX have the Scuttle Crab. So there's probably a stat where, like, you win the objective 80% of the time. You have the Scuttle Crab. I could be wrong, but it should be pretty high. It's higher than 50%, right? So Maokai flashes for Rel, misses, caught in the middle of GX, and punished. Another mistake that Maokai made, and I think that maybe, like, Yike was getting a little frustrated playing into Wuhan. I don't know. He is a LCK jungler that's been on a world's roster team. Has a skin. Has the Maokai skin. So GX Wuhan has slain G2 Yike. G2 out rotate lane swap here. Orn recalls and swaps to top top lane. Misfortune swaps to bottom lane, but too late. Broken Blade on the way. Yeah, they get out rotated here. It's good macro from G2 because Orn messed up, went top, but it was too late because Yon was already on his way there. So then Yon's laning into the Misfortune, where I think maybe they wanted it the other way around, but they got out rotated right there. I think Orn was supposed to go bottom, but remember they swapped earlier. Because I think at this point it was Yon laning into Orn again. Or no, okay. I don't know. I think they got out rotated. Maybe it was the right matchup because they lane swapped earlier. So maybe this is a useless slide. But who cares? Make it a slide for practice. Learn to make better ones. Ash spotted on the GX Ghost Poro ward at 14 minutes and 36 seconds. So again, a lot of these slides is we're trying to look at the area of vision and trying to get around them. The way the map is this season, though, it's not. I think it's almost like impossible in positions where it used to be where you could get around places without wards spotting you out. Because again, they've like made the openings bigger. Like the side lane brushes were like right here, and now they're clear back here. So it's much more difficult to gank because there's this bit of river. And so you get spotted naturally where you used to just jump right out of a brush. What? So Maokai, Poppy, and Corki spotted on the GX Vision ward, and Ezreal caught on the G2 ward at 16 minutes and 15 seconds. Okay, so Ash, Maokai, and Poppy are spotted on the GX board at 17 minutes and 21 seconds. Did I get way ahead? No, okay. Maokai, Poppy, and Corky are spotted on the GX Vision board, and Ezreal caught on the G2 board. So you can see these areas of vision. You're starting to get a lot of wards at this point. Again, it takes a lot of work to set this up on the map and make this for you. So trying to give you a better vision of what this would look like in the game. Unfortunately, Riot won't release replays for us where we can see this much better, and the observer is constantly changing and moving around. So it makes this difficult. Rel spotted on G2. That's why I would like to be nice to be a coach and work with players in scrims and actually see the replays and be able to look at this type of stuff instead of watching it and guessing from pro matches. That's why it would be enjoyable to me, and what some of why I want to do that and still get into the coaching thing. Again, Gam said I was good and did a good job. The only problem was I speak English and I need to work with an English speaking team. Now I can see maybe there's some problems working in Europe that the teams are multi-languaged. So just to check again, it's 17 minutes. Caps is way ahead. He's got the Manimune already and the Training Force. He doesn't have boots. But how much CS should you have? That's right, 100 in CS. And if you're LS, 1 1/4 CS. Ash, Maokai, Poppy spotted on the board. Yeah. So Poppy's punished for deep solo adventure warding and scouting alone. No teammates in vicinity. This is where I say that Yike and Mickey X, was it Poppy or was it Rel? Did I? Yeah, Mickey X goes up in here solo. This is where he needed to have Yike. He has Hansama, but Yike's over here getting the blue buff. I don't think you need the blue buff at this point, Yike. You've got a like 7.5k gold lead. Ash has volley, so Ash should be able to volley in here and go, oh, there's 3 guys in there. And Mickey X gets punished. I don't know where the Ash volley was to, or whatever her hawk shot. I meant the hawk shot, the E, not the W, but the E. So Maokai spotted on the GX control board, red side, ancient golem camps at 20 minutes and 23 seconds. So Yike just got the blue buff, and then he went over here to try to get the next blue buff. And there's a control ward there. So Brand spotted on the G2 ward, Yone overextended with no teammates and punished. So I don't know what Yone is doing. He's got the Rift Herald. Maybe he's trying to just get rid of the Rift Herald charge is the thinking here, but there's all this vision. There's no vision on the top side. Like, at least Broken Blade could have the Farsight ward, I would think, here. Probably be better than the Trinket ward for what he's trying to do, these grand solo adventures. But needs to have some type of vision if he's going to go this far up here and put some deep wards. There's no vision down here. So he gets punished. Or if he just spent 75 gold, they wouldn't lose 300 gold to GX. And yes, they look like they're dominating here, but what's going to happen when they play against T1 or they play against top and they punish you for little tiny mistakes? Practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. So GX Rel is spotted on the G2 control ward, and they give away GX at Dragon Pit. I don't remember exactly what I meant by giveaway GX at Dragon Pit. Oh, I think I meant like this is a dead giveaway they're doing Dragon because Ignar gets spotted, where if he didn't get spotted, G2 wouldn't know they're down here doing Dragon. Now I think at this point G2 don't care because they're 46k gold to 38k gold. So then GX Poppy, that shouldn't be, that should be Rel. I gotta fix that. Rel and Misfortune are spotted on the deep ward from G2 at 21 minutes and 51 seconds. I'm looking for Rel and Misfortune. Apparently there's a ward sitting in here, but you can't see it. There was a ward somewhere. There's a ward up there too. Again, that's where this gets difficult. I'm guessing there was a ward there. So Yone overextended without flash and punished. I think I gotta take... Yone is overextended without flash and punished. Okay, so Yone is overextended without flash. And so he gets punished. Kind of a dumb play. I don't know if this is bait, but like I said, my saying is perfect practice makes perfect, and G2 look good when they're playing against GX, but we're trying to get them to be on par with T1 and BLG and WBG that I think are going to Worlds now. I've been on the WBG bandwagon and defended myself for months now that they would be a top 4 team at Worlds, and it looks like they should get 3rd spot at least. So, nice ult play from Ornn to catch out Corki. I just wanted to highlight a play, not to put the Antonio down. He makes a really nice play here where he catches Caps out that has flash, and Caps dies, and that was a really nice play that he made in Ornn ult, so I thought I would highlight him because people want to put people like the Antonio down and say they're bad or say the S word, and I don't do that here. We're on the next level. So this should be where we get into the game. So G2 win this series. Or they win this game. They didn't win the series yet. Okay, so into the game. And this is where I don't know to do my slide still or what. I may not in this game because they're for you to follow along when we're doing this game. So let's go ahead and get in the draft and let's hear what the casters have to say about this. So again, we got Wuhan, that's a LCK jungler, and LCK junglers can play Nidalee, they can play Vi very well, they can play Lee Sin very well, they can play Sejuani very well, they can play Brand very well. But we get a Ziggs ban, which I don't understand. I can't recall seeing Hansama even... Oh, wait, that's G2. No, I don't know about Jackie's or Patrick's. I guess maybe one of their best champions is Ziggs. Ziggs allows you to pretty much farm and lane safely all day long, and Ziggs has a passive that does extra damage to turrets, so... And you get the Void Grubs, I'm sure that really helps as well. And then you throw in like a Tristana. And Camille's a good one too that takes down. I'm just thinking of champions that take down turrets quickly. So, like Tristana and a Ziggs. So we get an Ashe first pick, which the Ashe seems to be pretty successful here for G2 and Han Sama. Gives some type of crowd control. The volley. We've seen Han Sama in the last game make a pretty ridiculous ult from downtown. Kind of like the one I talk about where I had a friend get into the game and she started as a supporting me, and I played AD, and I had Jinx, and I just randomly shot Jinx's ult at level 6 at the mid turret, and we were playing against a Ziggs, and Ziggs like died, and she thought that was the coolest thing that she ever saw. So I know what it's like to hit from downtown. Ashe, I love having that global ultimate for like an engage or disengage. But we get Ivern ban. Oh, I'm not even doing my system. See, I gotta do my system like I do. So I look at the draft like this. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you get a set of counters, but you only get 2. Well, I guess that doesn't really matter there. You get a set of counters, and on here you get 2 set of counters. Or you get 2 duos, so like maybe these give some type of synergy. Then I look at this as a priority, so they're like salsa. I was saying that, you know, this is like hot, and then this is like mild down here, and it's like levels of what they're worried about. So they're most worried about Wuhan getting Nidalee, which I keep saying this, but it worries me that Yike won't play Nidalee because you got free vision. This is the time that he should be playing Nidalee and getting it ready, because I think you'll need Nidalee at Worlds. I got a smudge on my glasses. I like my new glasses. I got these, I think they call them like Zen lens. They're made for looking at computer screens, and they block out blue light. And I used to pretty much have insomnia when I stare, because, I mean, for years I've watched League of Legends and not worked. Like, this is my job. This is my marriage. No kids, no girlfriend. I've watched for years. The only thing I did wrong was I wasted my time, and I should have been making content on the side, but I sat there just out of enjoyment and taking notes, and since about season 6, taking notes of the drafts, and stare at the screen all day, and like used to be really nuts, and like get up and watch LCK, and then watch LPL, and then watch LEC, and then watch LCS for seasons. That's why I'm saying, like, I think that if anybody coaches, like, I think I should have enough experience just watching the professional games that long. But anyways, I got these blue light blocking lenses that really help when I'm staring at screens, and I guess like it can give you insomnia, like if you stare at a computer screen for like 14 hours a day or however long it is, and it seems to really help me like wind down at night. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's like salsa, and this is mild here that they're worried about, and this is extremely hot over here.
Poppy as well, so
G2 draft the Bayokai, which will get the brand. I don't know about the Misfortune and Rel. I guess they're good together. I don't know why not Leona. I don't know what happened to Leona. Poppy is the Rel counter from what I understand. And we get an Ornn. We get a blind pick Ornn top. Well, it could be flexed, right? It could go mid. Ornn could even jungle. We get an Aatrox ban. I don't know why, but we get 2 Broken Blade bans. So you all out there wanting to make fun of Broken Blade and say he's bad, well, here's 2 bans against him. Get an Ivern ban, which, like I said earlier, I've said that the bad thing about Ivern is you can't take objectives till he's level 6. And I saw Lucid yesterday take all 3 Void Grubs at level 5 solo with Ivern. The shielding and the range damage and standing in the Brushmaker. Now, his lanes were all pressured, so there was no way that a jungler or laners were going to come in and interfere. It would be nice to have Kingen as your laner and Showmaker as your laner and Aiming as your laner. So we get a Azir ban we're worried about, which Azir is good about getting the AD out of the back line, or even maybe like a Brand, if you take a Brand. Maokai is good engage, Poppy is good engage. We got Broken Blade on his Yone, which looked good in this game, but I don't know how it'll do against T1, against Zeus, or against Kingen, or against Doran, against Breathe or Ben. So I would like to see him take a Rumble. I mean, Rumble didn't even get banned. Rumble's probably the most OP top laner right now, especially on this patch. I've been watching the LCK and they're on patch 14.16. They're playing Nasus mid and they're playing. I mean, that's a really good because it counters the ADs. You have Wither and then they don't run. I've even thought about like pulling Nasus out in the jungle. I really enjoyed him back in the day. I've stolen Baron. I could just walk in with Nasus ult and steal a Baron. So we got the Brand, we got the Ezreal mid, and Ezreal mid has fallen off and isn't like a top priority anymore. I mean, you should have taken like Tristana, Smolder. And this is what I say, a team like GX, their coaching staff, just their coaching staff in general, they have less people. They're usually behind a patch or 2. That's the thing. Like, G2's on patch 4.15, where like LCK's on 1.16, so the LEC's already handicapping the LCK and the LPL for Worlds, just now being behind on this patch. But like Giants X is behind by like a meta or 2 ago, a patch or 2 ago. Because you need time, you need more coaches, you need more players, academy rosters, challenger rosters. I don't really know how the EMA works. I guess like Europe doesn't have challenger teams. I think there's like a BDS lower team or a Vitality lower team. I never hear of like a G2 academy team. But those teams help you develop the meta and you scrim against them. But we've done like a 2-hour stream already, so eventually all 3 of these VODs are supposed to go together. So it'll be like another 8-hour VOD. Go ahead and get into the game. And this is where I don't know to like look at the slides as much. I put the notes in here for you to look at the slides while the game's going. And I don't know if I had a second monitor as well, as if you could pull the slides over and back really easily. You should be able to. But like the first slide I got's Wuhan. Wards this at 45 seconds. I didn't see any other wards up yet. Got electrocute on Wuhan, which I think it's debatable. Like I see the arcane comment on like Tarzan today. I've had better success with the arcane comment. But the Hella Blades on Mickey X, so you can slam people against the wall and then hit them 3 times in the face and do a bunch of burst damage. So Maokai put this ward down up here, made slides about it. It's going to prevent Brand from coming in here and invading his jungle. It's also going to let Caps lane safely on this side, which is like a dead giveaway though if you're a laner like Jackie's. you know, that's warded if you see caps hang over here on this side.
Speak the language. That's kind of the point of learning it in school, but we'll see if Giant X can speak a different language than they did in game one. Changed up the draft a little bit. Looks like Juan actually went for a Razor Beacon.
It looked like Wuhan had some greedy wards and stuff. And I talked about it in the game number 1, and I'm not putting him down or anything, but it's like he's trying to maybe play for KDA because he may not be on Giant X next year, or he wants to be on a better roster. And maybe he's worried that how well he's done this year may not be good. Because I guess this is GX is done, right? So
It's not going to spot him out.
So it spots that the blue was done.
what looked weak to me on GX was Antonio, even though he made a really nice Ornn ultimate play at the end of this game on caps.
They should be able to determine because they saw red and they saw cross.
So jungle routes, I'm guessing Yike's going to come down here and get the Scuttle Crab. Brand's going to come up here and get this Scuttle Crab up here. That's where I said once you get the Scuttle Crab, that side of the river is yours because you got this vision right here in the middle, and it's really hard to get around it. Same thing down here. The Scuttle Crab, and you get it in the middle. Makes it really difficult to get around that path around it. I talked about how this has changed, where these brushes used to be back, or no, they used to be right up on the lane, and then you could just gank right out of the brushes, but now there's water, so you can't just come right out of the brushes and basically be invised. You know, the opponent sees you for a second. Yike gets the Scuttle Crab, and like I said, there's got to be some type of stat. Whereas Yike did get spotted on that ward once he got out of the brush. I made slides about that. I don't know to go look at them. You may be slided out already after all of this, because I've already went over these. But maybe you're just now watching. So I just show the warding spot. Beginning, Maokai starts the blue side. Maokai position near Corki, and Brand showing how, well, I explained that earlier, that Maokai being here allows the mid lane and top lane to play aggressive and push their lane. Same thing for GX. If you're a jungler, you want to play really about whatever lane's shoved up into the enemy side. So Broken Blade places a good deep ward at 2 minutes and 56 seconds. We got that. I've been pretty critical about him being lazy, but that's not a lazy ward. That was a good one. Poppy ward, bottom lane, tri-brush, allowing Ashe and Poppy to shove the pressure lane. I talked about that earlier, how you want to shove the lanes and you get it over the line that I talk about and make sure they're crashing. You know, you push them forward and do damage to the minions. Where you freeze is where you let it just, you wait till you let the waves kill each other and then you take the last hit. Whereas if you're pushing it, you're doing constant damage to shove, you know, you're killing the lane faster than the minions can. Therefore, your wave builds up and gets bigger and bigger, and then it crashes into the turret, the enemy turret, not your turret. So then Brand gets spotted out on a ward that Broken Blade put, so that was a really good ward. This is why I'm critical of him, that he's lazy, and a lot of times, not that he's lazy, I'm sorry. Sometimes I see him do lazy wards where he wards like right here, and you're not going to see the jungler come in and gank you until it's too late if you put it there. So that's a good one, putting it on a jungle camp. So thank you, Broken Blade, G2 coaching staff. Go back and ward like this. I haven't got time to watch the BDS series, but I hear they had horrible vision. So now it's like I got a new project after this. I got to go and I don't know how much time I'll spend on game 3. I may just do it quickly so I can go on and start on the BDS series. So Yone Vision Ward at GX red side Krug spots out Brand. Also the bottom lane G2 Vision Ward allows Ashe and Poppy to overextend and shove the wave into the enemy turret. So I don't know.
do we feel
I don't know, to keep following him or what. So I can give my own in-game commentary or talk. I seem to be pretty good at the talking part.
Yeah, none of us are trained
So that's a good warding spot in the middle if you really don't know where to ward. You're in mid lane or you don't know where to ward, just put it in the middle of the lane. Not the best spot, but it'll help you. It'll help you.
He's gone for a cull. Jackies and Caps constantly trading in the mid lane. Cap steps to the side.
You'll be able to see your enemy, and you can stay under your turret. Like, that's basically why I think he's warding there, is so he can hang out under the turret if he needs to, because he's going to lose the trade or he's worried about it. Notice how low Jackie's HP is here. So he put the ward there so he can see where Caps is and hang out under his own turret to not take damage. I used to lane and practice into a challenger player on NA, and I beat him in duels with Lulu. That's it, only Lulu. And he told me, like, I used to be like where Caps is right now, or I would always be in the standing up here, and he's like, all you gotta do is just stand under the turret. Not take damage. And I went over this. See, it looks different when I break it down, right? Because I'm pointing out things that you probably don't see or you're not paying attention to. But Wuhan does come in here and get spotted. Maybe not. Maybe it was the next dragon. Must have been the second dragon. Oh, maybe I missed it. Maybe the scuttle crab, but he got caught right on the scuttle crab, or maybe he should have went over here. Again, we went over all these. Maokai spotted on the ward. If he exits the brush, which he does after this slide's made, it's really hard to get screenshots that you want exact. Takes a lot of time. It's a lot of time to produce this show. Brad places a ward in a G2 topside jungle area at 3 minutes and 44 seconds, and both junglers claim Scuttle Crab, GX topside river, and G2 bottom side river. Maokai spotted if he exits. Maokai got... See, we're already 4 minutes into the game, and I've talked so much. He got his Faded Ashes, and Brand got his Faded Ashes. A lot of solo queue players that you don't do very well, it's probably because you don't back soon enough. Like, in lane as a jungle, it's like you stay in lane and think that you got to get your ultimate, and you need to go back at like level 3 and get a first item, or like Yone Zerker's Greaves, but get like a couple long swords or a dark seal if you're AP. Go back, you'll start winning the trades. You're not going to lose CS. You'll start gaining more CS. So Faded Ashes on Brand. Brand spotted. This is what I'm talking about, I think. Brand spotted on the G2 Vision Ward in the bottom of the jungle. So he gets spotted there. And see, Misfortunes overextended in lane. Good time to gank. Well, they missed that. It could have been a gank that Wuhan got, but 4 minutes and 46 seconds. I thought. Oh, yeah, right there. See, you don't see this, but right there, he's shoved up with no vision. Even like in this situation, Mickey can make a play and come up and get behind Misfortune and shove him into the wall. But there's where I said Wuhan gets caught on. There's the scuttle crab. Now it sees him, and he could have went around this way and not got caught on vision. So it was kind of a lazy jungle pathing from Wuhan. He was probably like speaking Korean and like, oh, nope, or can't communicate fast enough to translate. And when you're in Europe, you may have to deal with others that have language barriers too, other than English. So they're like speaking a third language. So like Caps here really should have went back already. He finally went back. Ezreal's already got a call and a tier. So GX get the first dragon. G2 act like they're not interested in dragons. They're always worried about the void grubs. What I see, the teams are, I guess you get more out of the void grubs, but I don't know if it's more like a AD thing because they're playing ADs top and mid and bottom, and they don't work as well on an AP. And I think they help a champion that has ranged attack damage to take down the turrets, minus like Ziggs. So, as I normally say, there's a formula where you get the 4 dragons, you get the soul, you get the Baron, and you can close the game out in 25 minutes as long as you're hitting 10 CS per minute. This is where Yike comes in, and there's this miscommunication here where I think Yike, like I said, he needs to slow down. Maybe he drinks too much caffeine, but when he's on the post lobby, he talks so fast that like I literally almost can't understand what he's saying. And I think he needs to slow down for his teammates. Because when I was younger, I was like that, and I would go in and make plays and like ping and everything, and then I would realize like, wait a minute, my teammates don't even have time to think or see what I'm doing. They're not on the same page as I am. Like I would see an opportunity and go for it, but you can't play like that, even at this level. Probably as well, there's language barriers in Europe. But I guess like Yike's reasoning here is, oh, I'm going to get level 6 off this one caster minion, and then loses the trade. So kind of a mistake from Yike. Like I said, perfect practice makes perfect. Practice doesn't make perfect. If you practice and you're lazy, you're just going to be lazy. You're trying to practice for like when your back's up against the wall in a best of 5 series or game 5, that you pull out all the stops and you're prepped, that you don't have to think. You've been through the situation over and over and over. You've got to prep for these best of 5 games. That's why like the LCS, I don't even know how they could win Worlds, because the LPL play about, I don't even know, like 60 games or more than that. I don't, or just matches. Like the LCK, there was 90 matches in this season. Every match can be 3 games. So multiply that.
To a little bit more activity, let's say from Juhan, where he might be able to try and use the
fact that that's
over to 6 to find advantages.
What, like 180 games that can be?
Most of that lead for G2 was on both played in the top lane. It has been a 1v1 basically in isolation for much of the game. And the issue for the Antonio is you can get
I guess
you can try and negate some of the healing coming out of the Yone, but it doesn't help with his auto attacks. 50% of those auto attacks are magic damage, scaling off your AD as well. So if you build, armor to try and deal with the physical damage.
I don't know to go back to the slides or not. I don't know if you'll get bored. Lost my train of thought for a second. So here, it's okay for Yone to make a play like that or overextend over this line because he's got a ward there. He should get a deeper one like over here. And Caps has this ward right here that's allowing him to pressure the lane and overextend over the line I talk about. Then here you got 3 winning lanes. But Hansama could easily, well, we got
Yeah, Patrick's dead. He's got the flash,
Mickey
but
X
Mickey
up
would knock
there
him into
putting
the
some
wall
vision
with the hail of
coming
blades.
around.
And a
Oh,
hammer
that was the
combo.
dive where
Mickey takes the
Patrick
kill.
didn't have cleanse, and Mickey X smashed him up against the wall. Trying to see when he lost cleanse. So Hansama,
Mickey reset very early and try and get him out onto the map first, but
well, he had to use his cleanse against Hansama. Had to use it on the Ash ult.
Nasty trade there.
And Mickey X was kind of doing a thing where I don't like this, that Yike should have been up here with him. Because both of these two characters get caught out at times, and I think it's going to cost G2 when they start playing LCK teams and LPL teams.
Patrick's dead. He's got the
Yike
flash,
and
but
Mickey
Mickey
X
would
need to
knock him into
work
the wall
on
with the hail of blades.
duo
And a hammer
adventures.
shot combo.
Like a tandem, I say, a jungle support tandem.
Patrick did have the flash, but even if he did, I don't know if he was getting away from that. He kind of had to flash it perfectly so that.
So
as
we
the
get a
E came in,
ward
he could flash
there.
away, but yeah, that was always gonna.
I don't know why Mickey X is going mid. Maybe it's because he knows Rel's going mid, so it's a counter. Oh, and you've got a ward here spotting Brand. And I'm sure I got these in slides. So I guess Mickey X decides to go up here. He may know where Rel's going, but so it's the counter Rel.
Flash it perfectly so that as the E came in, he could flash away. But yeah, that was always going to be an ambitious thing to be able to do. So
One of the things about Corki is his Q gives you vision in these brushes. That's one of the reasons he's so OP'd in the mid lane. I call it aggressively safe. Now they're nerfing that. They're making Q have the same mana cost all the way through every rank.
G2 equalized the
It
kills.
gives you vision on
But,
the enemy.
I think the bigger
free
problem
vision.
for Giant X is once again
The
Hansama's just
OP'd
had free reign on this
ability.
tower. He secures himself a play. He's now in a very healthy goal.
It's like in Warcraft 3, they made Night Elves very OP'd because they gave a race harvesting units that can harvest wood anywhere on the map. So you could scout somebody with a harvesting unit where like orcs or humans had to physically like chop wood down or mine gold out of a mine, and the wood elves, their wisps could just go anywhere on the map and harvest wood, which is just OP because that's free vision.
Lead top, as you already mentioned, in the same position. So even though Juhan gets a little bit accelerated after
So the
securing
Void
that first
grubs
blood,
in
you look at the
56
itemization, still very
seconds
similar.
and the dragon in a minute.
Giant X now find themselves overall behind in this early game.
very early lane spot.
Yes, that
from
G2
Giant
is
X
not
as
really
well.
interested in
They-
this
I feel like
dragon.
you
They're
should
more
do this
interested
for
in the
White grubs that are coming up, but still 40 seconds
Void
away from that,
grubs.
so
It's going to
you
help
can actually
Yone,
try
going to
and
help
match that if you
Corki,
really
going to
want
help
to, versus
Ash.
Stevie, and even stick around here.
They're already ahead in their lane. The only one behind
Just a
is
little early on this, 'cause you're gonna get the push
Yike
from
is
boss.
behind the
G2 can even walk
LCK
up and try and
World
contest, or they
roster
just take the drag
jungler,
up themselves on
Wuhan.
bottom side. So I think it's a bit of an unusual play here from Giant X.
I think it's
So
pronounced
you may want to
Wuhan.
try and contest G2 from getting
Wuhan.
6 grubs. Obviously,
Maybe it's
6 grubs
Wuhan.
with a Yone in a side lane later on will just melt through towers. But as you say, you give up pressure around that dragon towards the bottom side.
So this is where we got the lane swap. And again, hey, I give you free great notes. I don't know if I need to go through all of them because I went over them for like 2 hours. So I don't really see the point of this, but trying to get caught up where we are. We're 10 minutes. So Bran gets spotted on the Ghost Poro. And at 8 minutes and 9 seconds, I probably skipped some slides, but they're in the links for you to look at while you're going over this. So Bran gets spotted on the Ghost Poro again, trying to show you the area vision, and that's what I was trying to figure out earlier. Is I was wondering if the area vision is this portrait, because it kind of looks like that when you're watching the game, you can't see your enemy until their portrait is hugging your portrait, like that. But it's a little bit bigger. It's the size of the ward, And how you tell that is by hitting the auto attack button and hold down A and it'll show you. So you just hit A. Let me make sure this is still good. Ah, sorry, I don't know why that went down. I should have checked that earlier. It probably won't make a difference, but I don't know why, but my microphone, I go like 2 hours and then it wants to go down. So I apologize. It just went down by a few decibels. It probably won't make that much of a difference. And it may do that because it's like you talk too loud, Sodaron. But if it was down to like here, so it's like, hey, can you hear me? I guess it's really not that much of a difference. So maybe it does that automatically. I've tried to not worry about it, but I've wanted to mess with these. Hey now, hey now, hey now. What's that sound like? Hey now, hey now, hey now. Check, 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 check. Hey now, hey now, hey now. I think the FM's probably the best. So I don't know why that. It's like Windows doesn't like me or somebody's like hacking my computer or something. I don't think that's true, but I don't know why it does that. It might be this right here is why. I don't need that. I don't need that. Watch it be this. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't even know what this junk is. So, unless it's where like I accidentally do something in slides. But again, I apologize. It does it to me like every time. But it really shouldn't be that much of a difference. So.
It is very early from them as well. G2 were able to get the push through mid, and Broken Blade happy to accept this wave a little bit further back and isn't really...
Oh, so we were... it's just frustrating when you go for like 2.5 hours and you're like, well, gee, what if it's not watchable to people because my microphone went down? So we're 8 minutes in and Brand gets spotted on a G2 Ghost Boro, which is very nice. Free vision. Rel spotted on G2 board at 8 minutes and 19 seconds. Again, you've seen the slides. I got them. I'm just trying to... I don't even really know why I'm going through them. I should probably just talk about the game. Brand gets spotted on the ward right here. GX claimed the top side. Scuttle Crab. Poppy, Maokai. Oh, this is where they lane swap because Ornn's having a very difficult time and Misfortune's having a difficult time too. So Mickey X, I think, Mickey gets spotted on that ward, so then Ignore and Patrick have to path back to their side of the map.
It's also because G2 can kind of play with 4 1/3 man as well, because Hansam is...
As Mickey X gets caught on the Scuttle Crab now.
So when G2 take these fights, an Ash Arrow from downtown right up through river could end up catching people out.
Let's see what else. Maokai and Poppy spotted on the ward. Oh, this is where GX have a nice ward down here. I think Mickey comes down here. It should have saw him or seen him. Caps gets caught. But yeah, that would see him right there.
From downtown right up through river could end up catching people out. So that's what G2 might try and play for here.
Giant X currently grouped up around those grubs. Broken Blade has...
So here, Hansama tries one of his long distance engages, but doesn't hit anybody. Almost got somebody. I think that was part of the engage here. It's like G2 put Han Sama as the engage. So I don't know. I think G2 needed their AD here, right? They need their AD damage because you got 2 ADs, you got a brand, so the damage just doesn't make sense right here. Even though you got a 2k gold lead, but at this point, because you're probably not on full items or you're just on one item. You got the brand damage, and he's on Leandri's Torment. Misfortune's on a BF sword, almost has the Bloodthirster, so yeah, I would say they, for one, have a damage advantage. You also have Caps is low on mana here for this fight. That might be like Caps doesn't even want to take this fight right here.
Putting some damage down, but Broken Blade dives in, and Ignar almost dies. Yike flashes for him, can't quite get him. Mickey down to half HP as well. Yike going back in with a twisted advance, but he's been abandoned by the rest.
So Yike gets caught again. That's like the second time now. Again, perfect practice makes perfect. Practice doesn't make perfect.
Tried to get the kill, but only put themselves in harm's way, and Giant now get not only the kill, but will get those boy grubs off.
It just really bugs me. I would like to know why this resets sometimes. Unless it automatically does it or something, where it's like you're hitting the red too much, so it turns it down. And like I said, most people probably can't even tell. But I shouldn't even say anything.
Execution on the fight, or maybe just a miscalculation is a better word for it, because Ignar, he just tanks so much.
It's Sodaron trying to figure out if you watch the videos all the way through.
Get away, and then Yike flashes after him, at the very least trying to get that kill. But now G2 kind of run out of juice. They have nothing left to follow up with the rest.
So GX kill Yike here, and they get the Void Grubs, and Wuhan's look like he's doing pretty good. He's got the Leandri's Torment. He's almost 1,000 gold ahead of Yike. Yike should have went Locket of Iron Solari. It looks like it's more efficient than the Leandri's Torment, so I didn't look at his rune. Like, I always see him take first strike, and I always see like Tarzan and the LCK. He looks really frustrated in this game. If he's frustrated against Wuhan, then how's he gonna do against Canyon and Lucid and Owner? He's gonna be really frustrated at Worlds. We gotta relax, Yike. We gotta slow him down. At least he's got Phase Rush this game. And maybe he's not mad, but he looks mad in this game. And I said at the beginning, like, he's playing against a jungler that's been on World's roster and has a World's Maokai skin. If I was Jike, I'd be playing the DRX Maokai skin. But to taunt Wuhan. It may have been Willer that had Wuhan's skin, and I'm wrong. I have to... I know Willer was on... Was it HLE? I mean, literally worked with GAM during Worlds, and they were in this group. But, you know, the main guy was Pyosic. Do they even say, like, whose skin this is? Who's the Maokai honoring? Wuhan. See? Like, Wuhan literally has a world skin of... this champion. So, you guys say Wuhan's not good.
Just him out. He'll flash across the wall, but that miscoordination is something we have seen from G2 and something specifically we've seen from Yike over.
I mean, they played Wuhan. I think they played Wuhan at Worlds. It's just Pyosic like fit the type of play better.
Didn't have pushing lanes, and it's much harder as a jungler to impact the map early on if your lanes aren't there to help you. But I think calling attention to the fact that Yike's been struggling is doing him a disservice.
It's leveling Yike up. He just looks really frustrated that he's behind by 2 kills. But I mean, it's Brand versus Maokai. Maokai is not made to be a damage champion. Brand is a damage champion. Maokai is not made to carry. Maokai is made to tank and engage on and disengage.
Yeah, it's something that we'll have to keep track of, because I think that Yike, he came on to G2 with a lot of pressure.
So we're on 318, and I'm a fan of Yike. What was the last one I missed? The lane swap. So we got that. So Ashe gets spotted on a Poro ward. Ghost Poro and Zombie ward are great runes to take on a support. We've got Corki teleporting top.
Last year, and the expectations and responsibilities are very, very high. So when, of course, you do make those mistakes, there is a big magnifying glass.
Looks like we got a lot more wards. Let's see, let's count wards. Looks like GX have more wards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. I mean, when you look back at the page I made of this on RiftKit, look at all the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 wards that I had to make and label.
Europe at Worlds this year.
I mean, they will represent Europe.
Yes, of course.
Already have at least a 3rd seed guaranteed.
And I didn't get to watch the BDS series, but a friend was telling me that the vision looked like it was really bad on G2 yesterday.
Basically, if G2 get one of our top 3 spots, then the other 2 teams in the top 3 will
no, I guess G2 need to work on their vision. Broken Blade at the beginning of the game, it looked I liked the first ward he placed down. And I think it helped prevent him getting ganked.
A very effective answer into.
See, where are we in the slides? 14 minutes and 33 seconds. Ashe gets spotted on a Poro ward. So back here is the next thing we're looking for. We've got the Rift Herald here. We've got Yike trying to ult from a mile away. Mickey X gets... Who did he stun in the wall? Let's see, Jackie's. Ignar. Hopefully that's Wuhan there, yeah. So Brand just gets melted. You might not want to stand next to a wall when you got a poppy around you. So there's a free ward, like I say, the zombie ward, the ghost Poro. And Hansama got spotted on this ward back here. I could zoom it in even more, but that spots that much. So, looked like GX were going to get the Rift Herald, but G2 get the Rift Herald.
Good timing window from G2 to punish as they're going to look for Jackie's again.
So I need to take note that if I AFK for like a half hour, I had to take the dog out. And I got to check the microphone when I come back. I need to always check that. Take it for granted sometimes. So Caps gets a solo kill up here. Oh no, Mickey was there as well. I was talking, I didn't see Mickey die. So not a solo kill. Took Mickey X helping. I don't think anybody really gets a solo kill anyways, because you usually got teammates. I never worried about kills. Takedowns, as I call them. I don't like the word kill. It's negative. And sometimes, like, YouTube will filter that out. AI.
Things are very quickly falling out of Giant X's hands. They had some promising opportunities.
So they get the Rift Herald. They have the Scuttle Crab. Rel gets spotted on a ward, I think, right here. Over here with a solo adventure. No, it looks like he put a ward down. I know I bet I have a slide about it. No, the next one's at 16 minutes. One ward spots out Maokai, Poppy, and Corki, and then Ezreal gets caught. Guess I gotta talk for a minute.
Just waiting off on the sides here to make sure he's all fine if Jackie's does try to go for it on this, but Hans should, there you go, just finish off the tower.
Rel and Misfortune are top. It looks like Rel just got spotted on a ward. That Yone did put a deeper ward up in this brush right here. This brush. Because it was in distance to spot Rel, this brush. Caps has his early Manamune and Trinity Force. Again, how much CS do you want at this time? You need to have 100 and we'll go ahead and say 70 CS. So Corki's there. This whole team is really behind in the laning. They're getting out macroed. They're getting out mechanically played. Minus Wuhan is ahead of Yike. So I gotta give him some props. And Ignor's a well-known good support. I don't know anything about Jackie's as a laner. I don't know anything about Patrick as a laner. I don't know anything about Antonio. I just see a guy that's 2.3k gold behind. Now Ornn makes up for it with the ornaments a little bit. He did make a really good play on Caps at the end to top it off, so you can't say that he's horrible on Ornn or a horrible player, because he did get Caps out of a fight that had Flash even. To land an Ornn ult on Caps would be very difficult. So they got Ezreal got spotted out, and G2 got spotted out. There's a slide about it. Broken Blade's up here, very overextended, where he needs to have a deeper ward by now, like over in here, somewhere down in here. This one I don't think is going to prevent a gank. There is one here. In case the jungler or support or somebody pass up there.
Too much further as Caps gets the wave shoved in once again. Broken Blade now backing. I wonder if he's got his next completed item. 2,500 gold ahead.
Oh, Caps just chunked Jackie's a lot right there. So, again, I talk about this in my content, but you're shooting for at 20 minutes you have 200 CS. And what that equates to is you have 2 items and boots. And then you can take Baron if all your team has 2 items and boots. So Yike, he's probably really frustrated because he's behind. Caps just needs his boots, which he should be able to buy when he goes in. G2 gets the dragon here. Sure, I'm missing some slides. Brand already has his 2 items. Ornn doesn't even have a full item yet. Ezreal should have Trinity Force and Manamune already. He's behind. Patrick is 1.5k gold behind. He should have 2 items around now. Plus, I don't know about the boots of swiftness. You know, Hansama has 2 items.
G2 are just never.
I would think Yone is very close to getting his second item.
In a meta where AD carries.
There, he just got it now. Immortal Shield Bow, so
Superstar playmaking.
I don't know if the second item's really going to matter on the Maokai so much. He does have the Kindle Gem. It looks like they've nerfed the Warmogs on supports. Where I don't think I saw Warmog's first item today. I didn't really pay attention to support items. I was watching T1. So what was this one at 20 minutes? Mickey got caught out for some reason. See, Rel's spotted on the G2 ward. Again, you can look at the slides. Ashe, Maokai, and Poppy spotted on a ward. Right here. Poppy punished for deep ult. Okay, so Mickey X does a deep solo adventure warding and scouting alone, no teammates in the vicinity. And this is where Yike and Mickey X need to work together to be up here putting in vision here and here. And I don't know if like maybe Yike's not having a good game, so he's mad and he's not talking as much, not communicating. I don't really think he needs to be getting his blue buff here. I think he needs to be up here trying to steal the blue buff from the enemy. I talked about this earlier. It needs to be Yike with Yike with Mickey X, not Onsama there. Onsama just needs to stay in mid lane and farm the wave whenever it pushes up to him.
Tempo to slow down G2. This tower will unfortunately die because the Rift Tower on the top side, but you can at least try and defend now against Broken Blade because you've got numbers advantage on the map.
Broken Blade for a second there, I think, was debating whether
So this is where Broken Blade shoves and gets his turret, but I think he got the gold, right? Did he not even get the gold?
Broken Blade for a second there, I think, was debating whether he takes the Rift Herald out.
25 gold.
Juhan is closing in on him. Mortal Steel is going to boot a little bit of damage.
That's where this ward back here really didn't do him any justice. He's overextended. He have the ward here. Apps is shoving this T2 turret, and Yikes there as well. Looks like Hansama's going to shove this T2 turret. Why GX was chasing Broken Blade. So Caps has his Manamune. Just need Mickey to get his item, and we need Maokai to get his item. Sadly, Ezreal doesn't even have his Manamune yet. He should have it fully stacked at 20 minutes. Finally, Ornn's got a random one's Omen. There's the Iron Locket. It looks like I see the Iron Locket first. Over the Leandries. In the LPL and the LCK. So there's the Dead Man's Plate. That I'm sure is really good on Poppy because it's got some extra movement speed, or it does something that helps with movement speed that Poppy has. Unfortunately, when they go to Worlds and play against top teams, I bet that they ban Poppy every game, or they take Poppy. Because Poppy seems like a good Vi counter. I think you'll be seeing Vi that she's been buffed. She was already pretty strong. Broken Blade's up here doing a solo adventure, but he does have teleport. The only thing is that he doesn't have flash. If they come back, oh, he's going back, he sees. I'm sure that there's some vision here, or that he saw that somebody recalled. So they all have 2 items. They can take the Baron now. So it's pretty good timing. That's where it should be, is like at 20 minutes. So they're only off by 2 minutes. comes Broken Blade and Ornn teleporting. So Ornn really didn't need to recall. You know, it was kind of a shame that they basically wasted Ornn's teleport on him. That he recalled and then teleported back pretty much for no reason. I don't remember what happened there. Let me look. Oh, never mind. They already got the Baron buff. So Yike just keeps getting targeted.
Giant X have a man advantage. Juhan still has his ultimate, the Pyroclasm a possibility. In the end, the Baron goes over to G2, but
so the dragon up in 10 seconds.
The follow-up, so dragon for themselves.
And there's not really anything G2 could do there. If Yike didn't die, they probably could have stopped GX from getting the dragon. So this might be risky. They do have 3 Farsight. Their Broken Blade did finally get the Farsight stone like I was talking about. So that might be some of why they're going into this jungle the way they are, because they have the Farsight wards. There was a ward there. So I don't know about that either from Broken Blade. It's just need to work on that and back off. Don't die like that. I don't know why he's not backing off and letting the wave crash into the turret. I don't know why Maokai is clear down here farming. Like, he should be up here helping them. Unless, like, maybe there's a blue buff up that he's gonna grab. Maybe it's like, I don't know. I don't really think he needs to be farming anything at this point. Maybe it's because he thinks he's 628 gold behind, but look at this big lead. 3k gold, 3k gold, 3k gold. Makes up for the 500 gold difference. One thing too is Brand has the Seeker's Arm Guard, so you can't really target him first. You probably want to target Misfortune first. Ezreal.
Terror down. Realistically, you can just stick Broken Blade down there to take that bot inhibitor.
Nothing really going on. The dragon in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Sama getting the red buff. They all have buffs now. I don't understand what mechanic that is that was added where the buffs are shared. I need to look into that. I don't know if that's like the treat thing that goes with the jungle item being fully stacked.
Which is ironic, given their name, you know what I mean? That's a good one. You can tell that I'm not the witty one.
So it looks like Caps is going into 2 people in his lane.
As this game has escaped Giant X.
Let's see, we used to have what was called a 1-3-1, or a 4-1. Which that's what this is, a 4-1 lane split. Which Caps has teleport, so he could come over here and help. If there was a ward down, back there, there's a ward.
They got to defend 2 fronts at once. G2 push in once again, the Baron expired on them. But they have super minions pushing in bot and mid, and
I think I recall they have to go out of the base once or twice and fight and catch somebody out, and then they win the game. Ornn's ult is down, but about to be back up. First thing to get is Misfortune because her flash is down. And you need to know that if you're a pro player, or if you want to get to the next level, you need to know cooldown timers, like I say. I've got a card right here. And what is Cleanse's cooldown timer? That's right, 3 minutes and 30 seconds. What is Smite's cooldown? 1 minute and 30 seconds. What's Barriers? 3 minutes. What's Unleashed Teleport? 10. Where you can teleport onto wards.
Basically relying on not one, probably not even two. They're going to need 3 amazing back-to-back fights to be able to turn this game around.
And I think it's a good indication.
And maybe I could have done more slides, but you're probably slided out by now. Wards. I may not even go that crazy with game number 3.
You're in a position where you're looking at void grubs. We're going to look for a potential dive onto bot lane and controlling the map in that way. Whereas for Giant
I don't know what Broken Blade's doing clear down at the Gromp.
Trying to decide, hey, can we actually fight this? And by the time they come to a decision,
What does he get? He sold a Doran's shield. He's got the Infinity. Oh, he's like, I gotta get the Infinity Edge, guys. Gotta have the Infinity Edge to close it out, guys. Dyke's got his Gargoyle Stone Plate. Did he hit anybody with the ult? This epic pin, it makes me have to hit the button like 3 times to fast forward or pause. Sorry about that. It's my rage of the day. I don't know what... I know Ornn hit a really good ult. Yeah, Ornn hits this ult. That wasn't the same one. So I don't know what G2 is trying to do here. Mickey X almost dead. He whiffs his ult on Patrick. So Wuhan gets ulted, but that's not really the right one to get because he's got the Seeker's Arm Guard, like I was saying. Needed to get Patrick or Jackie's. But Patrick was the one you needed to get. So that's really what happened in that fight, was Wuhan had the Seeker's Arm Guard, like I was talking about. Hans Sama tried to engage with the Ashe ultimate. Poppy tried to knock Patrick back with the ult and missed. Or the game should have been closed out then. So these are like the things that they really need to work on. The Maokai ult hits Rel, and that's it. So Ashe hit Wuhan, but he's got the Seeker's Arm Guard. Wrong person. Need to get Patrick. Patrick had cleanse though. So maybe Jackie's if not Patrick, because he had the cleanse up. Of course Jackie's had flash. I would say Patrick. I mean Patrick should probably have more damage. The Misfortune ult. Didn't even see a Misfortune ult. So G2 go down here uncontested and get the dragon. I don't think there's anything that GX can do, because they're going to have to clear the waves out of their base.
Unfortunately, the downside of having all of this quote-unquote free farm is that it does mean that you don't
Mickey X doing a good job keeping Vision up here as a human ward. He could also fling or poppy ult Wuhan away so he can't come in and smite. He does have Zanya's Hourglass now. So don't think you want to target Wuhan first.
Up, Call of the Forge got 4 seconds away. Haven't really seen the bullet time combo that many times this game. The mid inhib respawn.
Okay.
Patrick stepping quite far forward.
Got this wave. You got Ornn just hanging out down here, just waiting to get caps. So Ornn hits a really good ultimate right there, hanging out, gets the right target that you want. Wuhan Zanya's and doesn't get hit by the Maokai ult there. I don't know if he got followed up by the Ashe ult, because he just melted after the Zanyas went down. And there's game number 2, guys, in the books. So game number 2, I'm sure I talked enough of the G2 versus GX series. Again, who am I? Sodaron. I've worked with GAM, VCS team. It was a lot of work because they make a lot of mistakes and fight a lot, so it was a headache to try to analyze. I was doing breakdowns of those games. Now think about the fighting they do. So follow me at x.com. I think that's wrong. That's right. x.com at Sodaron official. Is there an add-in or is it just Soda? Okay. Yeah, I did that wrong. I'm sorry. x.com Sodaron official. Twitch.tv/Sodaron. This is the main one I need. Follow me at the twitch.tv. Maybe I should.
And a bit nerve-wracking, but I kind of enjoy the nerves in a way. For me, it's like a healthy thing because
this is the most important one that I need is your Twitch follows, and
we can be one of the surprises in the tournament. And I also think
subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Sodaron, and I will see you next time. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you're ready to get to the next level.
I see is mine. I think we're gonna hit disaster. Just give me one more try. Supplication. Everything I see is mine. I think we're gonna hit disaster. Just give me one more try. I see is mine. I think we're gonna hit disaster. Just give me one more try. Supplication. Everything I see is mine. I think we're gonna hit disaster. Just give me one more try. Supplication. Everything I see is mine. I think we're gonna hit disaster. Just give me one more try. Supplication. Everything I see is mine. I think one more try.